Insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where a near sellout crowd of over 55,000 will be on hand today as the Indianapolis Colts take on the Miami Dolphins. But with the threat of a player strike hanging over the NFL, many of the fans are wondering if this is the way the Hoosier Dome will look for the remainder of the 1987 season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Indianapolis. Tom Hammond, along with former NFL tight end, the All-Pro Dave Casper. And, of course, the talk of a strike very much on the minds of everyone. The players and coaches in this game say they haven't been distracted by the strike in their preparations for this week's game. We do know, however, that some of the Colt players are planning to cross the picket lines and play if the owners do continue the season. While the Dolphins are very much a union team, we expect them to walk out 100%. Dave, you were playing for the Houston Oilers back in 1982 when we last had a players' strike. What are your thoughts?
Well, in 1982, I lost over $200,000 in the players' strike. I didn't really know what the Players Association was doing, but I felt since my teammates were going out, I had to go out. And I feel that's what happens. If there is a strike, that's what's going to happen with the other ball players. They're going to feel they have to go out.
Well, with all the uncertainty, this game takes on even greater meaning, and the two teams come into today's game with nicked-up quarterbacks.
You're right. Gary Hogeboom has a bad left thumb. He's got a cast on it. He's replacing Jack Trudeau today. They need performance out of Hogeboom. The question is, can he hand the ball off? Can he keep it off the ground? On the other hand, Dan Marino is the Miami Dolphins. He has a bad finger on his passing hand, but he played last week, and he's going to play this week. If it affects him, it's going to affect the Dolphins.
And, of course, the Dolphins have dominated this series. They've won the last 13 meetings with the Colts. The last Colt win in 1980. That's the longest current streak in the National Football League. The Colts won the toss, and they have elected to receive. Reves will kick it off for Miami. And Daniel is deep for the Indianapolis Colts. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. The two teams losing their openers a week ago, but both close games. Miami at New England and Indianapolis here at the Hoosier Dome against the Cincinnati Bengals. Reves has it on the tee, and there you see this return set up for the Colts, and Daniel averaging 24.2 on kickoff returns after the first game of the season. Just before the kickoff, we had a solidarity handshake from the two teams. They met at center field and shook hands. So the game began with a gesture of support for the Union. Here's the kick. It hits at about the 5 and taken by Daniel. Hit hard, he fumbled. Loose ball beyond the 20. Let's see who got it. The Colts got it back. Daniel was hit hard and coughed it up. And Armstrong, Harvey Armstrong, was able to recover it for Indianapolis. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for the Indianapolis offense. But first, we'll see that fumble again. Daniel picks it up on the bounce, and he'll be really hit hard just shy of the 20.
There appears to be a hole in the middle, so all of a sudden, boom, they close that hole. He's got to protect the ball. Opening part of the game, a good coach wants to have a running back or receiver who will not fumble the ball.
So first down for the Colts at their own 21-yard line. And Bentley, the setback, right straight up the middle and getting good yardage.
That's what they want to do. The Colts feel that they can take advantage of the lightness of the Miami defensive line. That's what they want to do, is move the middle away.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Hogeboom, injured in the second game against Miami a year ago, missed most of that season, gets the start today. Brooks, 146 yards last week, leads the NFL in that category. And you see that big offensive line averaging nearly 300 pounds a man. 2nd and 2 for Indianapolis, the opening possession of the football game. Hogeboom for his first pass. Swing pass to Bentley is complete. He's got the first down. He gained about 3 yards to the 33-yard line. Let's take a look at the defense now for the Dolphins. They start a rookie on the defensive line, first-round choice John Bosa, who reported late. Among the linebackers, Ship is their leading tackler, and rookie Rick Graff gets his first start on the left side. That moves veteran Bob Brzezinski to the right side for the first time. And in their veteran secondary, Judson has been the outstanding defensive back on the team the last 4 years. First down for Indianapolis. The ball spotted at the 34 of the Colts. Game just underway from the Hoosier Dome. Bentley Cuts back and gets to the 40-yard line. A gain of about 6. Jackie Shipp again on the tackle. Shipp had 15 tackles to lead the Dolphins a week ago against New England. You see what Bentley did against the Cincinnati Bengals. And he is the only setback in the one-back offense for the Colts.
You notice the offensive line blocked down to their right, and they pulled the tackle from the guard from the right to the left. This mixture of action really gives a lot of misdirection to linebackers. If you have the time to do it, you can get big plays off of that type of action.
2nd and 4, Indianapolis from their own 40-yard line. Boyer, the H-back, is in motion. Hogaboom, plenty of time. Again, swings it to Bentley. Tries to put a move on and can't get away from Mark Brown, the inside linebacker, who was covering him out of the backfield, and it'll be no gain on the play.
Interesting enough, last time they threw the same play on 2nd down. It was against the zone. This time the Dolphins says, we're going to put a linebacker on and make sure you don't have the opportunity to turn it up the field.
Gary Hogaboom, the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Jack Trudeau started last week, but Hogaboom has been their #1 quarterback. Torn ligaments in his thumb in the preseason and wearing the cast, as you can see, on his left hand. 3rd and 4. Hogaboom lofts it up. And it's complete for a Colt first down. Bill Brooks on the reception, and the Colts keep their drive alive. William Judson, the cornerback, covering Brooks, who made the reception. He had 6 catches for 146 yards against the Bengals. That's the top receiving yards total in the NFL so far.
One of the toughest passes to complete. He's got to throw it over the man's outside shoulder. Look at him get the feet in bounds. By throwing it out over his outside shoulder, he uses his body to protect the ball. It's a tough pass, a great throw.
See the stats on Brooks. A nice touch on the pass by Hogaboom. Bentley on first down. Gets a couple. Jackie Shipp, again, very tough against the run, making the stop for Miami. And, of course, for the Miami Dolphins, Jackie Shipp is their leading tackler today.
You'll notice that the offensive line doesn't get movement on the defensive line, enabling him to, after he gets through the block. You see, there's nobody in his face now. If like 71 call right there would have pushed his man back, that's what they hope happens, to get in the linebacker's way. But Shipp can run. If you give him room to run, he's going to make those plays.
Runs a 4.66 40, the 2nd leading tackler all time in Oklahoma football history. 2nd and 8, Boyer in motion for the Colts. Plenty of time again for Hogaboom, but he misfired on the pass intended for Matt Booza down around the Miami 30-yard line. First bad toss from Hogaboom.
I don't know if that was a bad toss or not. I think Hogaboom was hoping that Booza would continue to run. Hogaboom hasn't been in a game situation yet. Booza recognized the zone, a hole in the zone. He pulled up. Hogaboom thought he was going to continue to run.
So the timing off here.
Watch Booza pull up number 85. You see, he thought he was going to stop. Hogaboom thought he was going to keep going. It was a matter of miscommunication. These guys have not played in a game long enough.
Here's Booza, the leading receiver for the Colts a year ago. 3rd and 8 for Indianapolis. Long count by Hogaboom. Under pressure, he lets it fly. Incomplete, intended for Brooks. Appeared to go through the hands of Brooks, and for the first time, Miami got some pressure on Hogaboom.
The Colts have been providing a very good pass protection for Hogaboom. I think Brooks got his head around a little bit late, wasn't ready for the ball.
And Dean Biasucci is on for the Colts to attempt a field goal. And it's going to be a 59-yard attempt by Biasucci, his first field goal attempt of the season. He hit on 13 of 25 a year ago, but did not attempt a field goal against Cincinnati. Now he goes to the side, and they're going to attempt a pass. No, now it's going to be a punt. All sorts of things going on for the Colts. They snapped the ball directly to Ron Stark, who is the punter but also the holder. He was lined up apparently to hold for Biasucci. They snapped it then directly to Stark, and he finally got a punt away. So Miami will have the ball when we come back to the Hoosier Dome. No score, first quarter. 4th down, ran from punt formation and got a first down. Here they line up for an apparent field goal. Stark is the holder, Biasucci the kicker. Now Biasucci vacates the formation. They snap it directly to Stark, and is he going to run or kick?
I think it's a take-a-look type of a play. He can kick, even if he would have gained 10 yards, he can still kick the ball anytime he wants to, and it turns into a punt. They wanted to see what was going to happen. I'm surprised they ran to their right and tried to kick with a left-footed punter.
So the Dolphins have their first possession, first down on their own 19. Hardy in motion. Give in the backfield is to Woody Bennett. Bennett gets only a couple of yards before he's stacked up by that Colt defense. Let's check the starting lineups now. The offense of the Miami Dolphins. The incomparable Marino has thrown a touchdown pass 24 straight games. He had 3 last week. And of course, the Marks brothers, Duper and Clayton, among the best. Duper leads the AFC, 9 catches a week ago. Hampton, their leading rusher. The offensive line has allowed the fewest sacks for 5 straight years, anchored by perennial All-Pro Dwight Stevenson. 2nd down and 6. Marino for his first pass over the middle and complete short of the first down. Ron Davenport made the reception, but Barry Krause, getting the start today for Indianapolis, was all over him to stop him from getting first down yardage. Let's look at the defense for the Colts, featuring a pair of first-round draft choices on the line, Thompson and Hand. Hand had 7 tackles a week ago. Linebacker Johnny Cooks is injured, so veteran Barry Krause moves into a starting spot. He had major reconstructed knee surgery last season. In the secondary, see if the Dolphins pick on rookie Freddie Robinson. He was burned a couple of times by Boomer Esiason last week. Here's Marino, 3rd and 1. The give is to Davenport, and Davenport is stopped short of the first down. Barry Krause making his presence known in a hurry, the veteran, 9 years out of Alabama. It is enough for a first down, so on second effort, Krause unable to stop him from getting across the marker, and the Dolphins do pick up their initial first down of this game. Here's a look at the 10-minute ticker, and of course throughout the day we'll be bringing you up to date on all the scores every 10 minutes from NFL action. Only score yet, Buffalo with a field goal, Norwood from 45 yards. From the 30, first down, Dolphins. Play action fake, Marino will put it up. Crossing pattern complete to Hardy, who's dragged down by the jersey at about the 37-yard line by Dwayne Bickett. Hardy had 4 receptions against New England a week ago. There's the 10-year veteran out of Arizona State.
The play fake has to hold the linebackers. Look at Krause, 55, then drop off late. Underneath them, here comes Hardy across. Bickett's following him. Now he's going to pull his shirt out, and if he doesn't put that shirt back in, they're going to fine him money. Those tight ends have to put their shirts back in and keep them tucked in and look like neat, clean people in the field.
Which, of course, you identified all the time. You were very neat and clean, weren't you?
Ha, take me out. You can't dress me up.
Keep it on the ground across the 40 is Lorenzo Hampton on his first carry of the day, and he has another Dolphin first down. John Hand, the first-round defensive end from the Indianapolis Colts, makes the tackle. He was the 4th player chosen in the '86 draft, was John Hand. And you see the numbers on Hampton. 830 yards a year ago. The leading rusher for the Miami Dolphins, scored all of their rushing touchdowns a year ago, but just 9 of them on the ground. From the 42, the Dolphins with a first down. Marino mixing it up. The run and pass. This time it'll be in the air. And the pass is complete for about 8 yards. First reception of the day for Mark Duper. We told you he had 9 catches for 2 touchdowns a week ago against New England to lead the AFC in number of receptions.
Ron Meyer says, I'm not going to get beat deep. He's going to play a zone. Duper turns out. Shula says, I'm going to take what you give me. And that's what they did. It's a pretty simple pattern. They've got to complete it, and they've got to make it work every time.
There's that big game where we're talking about against the Patriots in the rain in New England in the opening week of the season. Ball resting on the midfield stripe, and the Dolphins have it 2nd and 2. No score in the game with 7:55 on the clock, first quarter. Pitch it on the sweep. Hampton. No, it's not Hampton. Excuse me. It's Troy Stradford in the game for the first time, and the rookie from Boston College gets another Dolphin first down before he's stopped by John Hand. Stradford, a 4th-round draft choice. The all-time leading rusher at Boston College. Here he is in action.
A pitch sweep, if you want to call this that, doesn't have to go wide. If the linemen get movement, turn it up, find a hole. What happens is you get distortion, defensive distortion. They have to move their entire team from the middle of the field to somewhere near the sideline. If they don't do it in unison, you get holes, and you get big plays.
The veteran Don Shula, in his 25th year as an NFL head coach, has seen his team start from the 19 and advance to the Colt 46 with a first down. Marino has Hardy wide open, nobody close to him. Inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line, 25, where he's knocked out of bounds by Barry Krause. It went for a completion wide open to Hardy, and he was just all by himself.
I played for a team, we called that a sneak. You play fake, you look downfield. When everybody drops back off in a deep zone, you sneak out in the sideline. And you'd be surprised what big plays, because nobody's looking for that little pass after the play fake. They're looking for the touchdown. They're looking for the corner. You sneak a man in the flat, and it turns out to be a big play.
Goes to the 25-yard line where the Dolphins again have a first down. Miami moving on its first possession. On the ground, it's Davenport. He's across the 20 down to the 19 of the Colts. 6-yard gain, and Barry Krause in again on the stop. He's very tough against the run for Indianapolis. On the sideline, Ron Meyer of the Indianapolis Colts won his first 3 games. The first Colt head coach to do that when he took over the last 3 games of the '86 season. He's brought a new attitude to this Indianapolis team, and facing Don Shula, his 18th year as the Miami head coach, he's won or shared the AFC title 13 of the last 17 years in the AFC East. Gang tackle with Cliff Odom leading the way as Hampton gets only a couple. See Odom, number 93, 7 years out of Texas Arlington. And the linebackers really coming after the running play. You'll see it from ground level.
Notice 61 pulling on a trap. They closed it down. So now Hampton says, I'm going to try and run outside. But Cooks has got enough speed to chase him down. You need that speed from your linebackers. And Cooks is a big guy, too. He's got great speed for his size. Oh, Odom, excuse me.
Last week, the Dolphins were horrible on 3rd down, and they're normally a very good 3rd down team. They have a 3rd and 3 here from the 18 of the Colts. Marino on the shotgun. It's going to be a touchdown for Troy Stratford. Out of the backfield, Stratford, the rookie, was wide open. Freddie Robinson, the rookie of Indianapolis in their secondary, was beaten on the play, as he was by Cincinnati last week. And Stratford waltzes into the end zone for his first NFL touchdown.
Dan Marino dropped back, getting great protection. The ball goes in the flat, and again, sometimes the smallest, easiest plays turn out to be the big ones. A missed tackle for a touchdown.
Stratford celebrates his first professional score, and Fuad Reveiz is on to try to tack on the extra point. Don Strock the holder, and Reveiz splits the uprights to make it 7-0 Miami. So the Dolphins get the ball on their own 19, march all the way down the field, mixing the run and pass, and with 5:37 left in the first quarter, the Dolphins are on top. Drive hitting on 5 of 5 through the air for 59 yards, and the clincher coming on the pass to Stratford. They covered 81 yards in 11 plays and consumed over 5.5 minutes. A beautiful drive for the Dolphins on their first possession of the game. Reveiz now ready to kick it off for Miami, and Daniel is deep for the Colts. Daniel from the 5. It's a seam. And across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Good return by Kenny Daniel. It covered 28 yards. So Indianapolis with decent field position as we check the ticker once again. Surprise there. Green Bay breaking on top of the Broncos. From the 32-yard line, Indianapolis will have a first down. They came from behind to go ahead of Cincinnati in the opening game last week. And in fact, since Ron Meyer has been the coach, they've been a come-from-behind team, something that was missing in the early part of last season. 7-0 Dolphins with less than 5.5 remaining first quarter. Bentley picking his way across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 4-yard gain. Finally stopped by Bob Brzezinski, the 11-year veteran out of Ohio State. Here's Brzezinski, who moves to the right outside linebacker today. Usually starts on the left side, but Rick Graff, the rookie, has progressed enough that Brzezinski moves to the right, and Graff is installed in a starting spot on the left. 2nd and 6 for the Colts. Warriors in motion. Tries to get a block for Bentley, who cuts up to the 40. Ball's loose, but I believe it'll be blown dead. Blown dead at the 40-yard line, no fumble. Glenn Blackwood, the Dolphins' strong safety, 9 years out of Texas, came up to stop Bentley.
Watch the big left tackle hit and fire out. He's going to be matched up against the linebacker there. Hutt's on number 97. Boza, the rookie. Look at the movement he's going to get. That linebacker's back so far. They got some movement there, but the Dolphins aren't worried. That was only 4 yards. They're going to sit there and say, if we'll give you 4 yards, we'll take this 3rd and 3 because it's a tough type of down to convert on.
Saw Hinton, number 75, the 3-time Pro Bowler for the Colts. It's 3rd and 2. Bentley quickly bursting through the hole for a first down up to the 48-yard line of the Colts. Well, again, that big offensive line doing a good job opening a hole for Bentley, who was through it in a hurry.
Watch the movement. Look at the cross block between 64 Hutt and Hinton. That type of a deal, really, it can open a hole up or might not get anything. But on a short yardage, when they're firing out, you cross block and hit them from the side. You get big gaping holes. In a short yardage situation, sometimes you get touchdowns.
Hinton at 6'4", 295, and Hutt 6'6", 286. First down, Colts. Bentley tries the right side, cuts it back to the middle, gets a couple to midfield. The Dolphin defense coming into the game ranked 7th in the AFC, 10th against the run. That time T.J. Turner, number 95, in his 2nd season out of the University of Houston, a 3rd-round draft choice, makes the stop. Bentley has been the workhorse, as we expect, on the ground for the Colts. He's carried 7 times, 34 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 8 for Indianapolis. Hogeboom got his man, Brooks, down to the Dolphin 38-yard line. Bill Brooks again open for the reception. Paul Langford, the cornerback, finally making the stop. And there's Hogeboom. He's a fiery type guy. And he's got Brooks, the 2nd-year man, who was very impressive as a rookie a year ago and is taking up right where he left off.
Notice that just a zone defense. Hogeboom settling down. The backers were off. Brooks started in. Now he's coming back out. This was a shorter pattern. Hogeboom, I think, is settling into the game. He completed it. If he continues this, the Colts will be doing a lot better, of course.
Remember, Brooks had a 146-yard game receiving last week. First down. Bentley hit behind the line and dropped at the 39-yard line. Loss of 2 on the play. And John Boza, the rookie out of Boston College, the Dolphins' 1st-round draft choice, who had a tough game in his debut a week ago, looked good that time against Bentley.
The thing an offensive lineman fears is a quick man that can get off the ball. Hinton fired out. He thought somebody was going to pick Boza, but Boza had shot the gap too fast. He's in the backfield. Penetration will kill you. You don't want that. Obviously, that's going to lose yardage, but not only that, it messes up any kind of a chance that the running back has to read a defense.
2nd and 12 after the loss. This is Brooks in motion for Indianapolis. Hogeboom quickly finds Boza, spins, toss up the football, and the Dolphins have it. Boza, fighting for more yardage and trying to get the first down, fumbled the football, and it's recovered by Turner of Miami. T.J. Turner with a fumble recovery, and the mistake for the Colts kills off a promising drive.
Hogeboom back with good protection. You're running against the zone again. Boza's got enough yardage. This is the 2nd time they're fighting for first downs and made a mistake. Freddie Robinson was trying to stop, I believe it was number 23, from getting a touchdown on short yardage, and they're trying to make the big play now. In that situation, Boza, he was close enough that they could have went for 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. He should have went down, protected the ball, but he tried to make the big play.
And the delay would apparently be in the replay booth as they take another look to make sure it's a fumble. I thought that Judson knocked the ball loose before he went down, and of course it was Turner that made the reception. And Cal Lepore is checking the replay. And it will be first down Dolphins as the replay confirms the ruling by the officiating crew headed today by Fred Wyant. All right, the Dolphins will have the ball when we come back to the Hoosier Dome. Miami leading 7-0 with 1:20 left. Hanging over the Hoosier Dome today, we asked the coaches how they felt about a strike. Ron Meyer said there was nothing he could do. He said he didn't side with the players or management. I can't afford feelings, he said. And Don Shula said, well, I respect their right to negotiate, but I also expect them to respect my right to coach. That's the way the respective head coaches feel about the possibility of a player strike. Dolphins have a first down at their own 33. after the fumble recovery by the Dolphins. Lorenzo Hampton fighting for yardage, finally stacked up shy of the 40-yard line, but he got 5 yards on the play. Cliff Odom led the charge for the blue-shirted defenders of Indianapolis. It's interesting to note, speaking of the strike, that Don Shula has scheduled the film session, which normally occurs on a Tuesday, for Monday of this week, which means that he evidently is expecting the players to walk out by that Tuesday deadline. Give Hampton 6 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 4 for Miami. Marino hands again to Hampton, who stumbles and falls forward to the 40-yard line. He got a yard on the play. Dave Aarons covered him after he lost his footing and went down. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming up for Miami. Closing seconds of the first quarter. 15 seconds left on the clock now, and the Dolphins holding a 7-0 lead. Shula's team looking for its first win of the season after losing a close, controversial decision at New England a week ago. They're going to let the first quarter run out. And the gun sounds to end the first quarter of play from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Miami scoring on its first possession of the game, and the Dolphins lead the Colts 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back. That's fairly even, actually. 88 total yards Dolphins, 74 for the Colts. The big difference in the game, the Dolphins able to drive down and score, and the Colts had a good drive going, but the fumble nullified it. And leading 7-0, the Dolphins have a 3rd and 3 from their own 40-yard line. Double wide receivers to either side, but they go on the ground. The handoff to Stratford. Stratford, who scored the game's only touchdown, gets the Dolphin first down, diving forward to the 49-yard line of Indianapolis, where he's covered by Nesby Glasgow.
Coaches love to spread a defense out. 4 wide receivers and run a trap. Right, there's nobody in the middle. There's no extra people there that can stop the trap. You get a pass rush. You hit the defensive lineman from the sides, and you break big plays.
A week ago, we mentioned the Dolphins only 1 of 12 on 3rd downs. Today, they're a perfect 3 for 3. Mark the ball at the 48 of Miami, and Marino back to pass. Steps up and fires long. He's got a man. Complete inside the 10-yard line. Mark Clayton on the reception, and again the rookie Freddie Robinson in the Indianapolis secondary is the victim. There's a look at Mark Clayton.
Dan Marino seems to have just enough mobility to get the ball off. He can scramble enough to throw, not to run. Watch him find. He knows where the pocket, he knows where the hole is, sets it up, and still gets something on the ball. The ball's completed, and it's obviously on the 9-yard line looking to score.
Sort of a wobbly pass, but it got the job done. Clayton's 3rd reception of the season and the 61st of his career. It goes for 44 yards and a Dolphin first down at the 8 of Indianapolis. 1st and goal, Miami. Hampton, nothing there. Stopped for a loss. Back to the 11-yard line. John Hand, the defensive end, with help from Dwayne Bickett and others, making the stop on Hampton. And the Colt defense, which allowed 13 rushing first downs against Cincinnati, worst in the NFL in the opening week, is tough against the run today.
Watch Woody Bennett, number 34, leading in, helping out in the middle. The problem is somebody's laying on the ground. Pressure comes from the side. They're hoping to get movement. Woody Bennett is like a guard in the backfield. They were hoping for that, but play was there. Good defensive play.
2nd and goal now from the 10-yard line. Marino's pass through the hands of 2 intended receivers. Both Clayton and Hardy had a shot at it. And it goes incomplete. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Hardy has to widen the defense in order to get open. He's going to start out like he's going to the corner. He's going to want the man to go on top of him. Now he's going to break that back in the middle, and he is open. I wonder if Clayton Clayton deflected the ball, I think. I wonder if Clayton didn't break his pattern trying to get open, too. There needs to be a little bit of discipline when you run routes, not trying to make the play yourself, counting on somebody else to be in the right spot.
Hardy explaining the play. You saw that was the first missed pass of the day for Marino. He's 6 of 7. It's 3rd and goal from the 10. Shotgun. Lofts it for the corner. Touchdown. No, he dropped it. He dropped it. Pruitt had it and dropped it with Daniel right alongside. Pruitt had it for a moment and couldn't hold it. He had the touchdown, and James Pruitt let one get away.
Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news, he ran a great route. He gets a good release, and he goes. Now look at what he has is he has Daniel with his back turned. Now when Daniel comes back, Pruitt has had his eyes on the ball all the time. He can make the reaction. It gives him the advantage. You've got to catch the ball.
Here's Reveiz on to attempt a 28-yard field goal. And the kick is good. So Reveiz hits it from 28 yards, and the Dolphins increase their lead. 12:37 in the second quarter, 10-0 Miami.
Scored on both of their possessions so far in the game, and a lot of patience and mixing up their play calling.
I think you see the difference between a Don Shula coach team that knows they're good. They're going to come out, they're going to accept the 5-yard gain, the 6-yard gain. They're not going to push. They're going to come back the next play and make a big one. Colts, on the other hand, are trying to make more out of a 5-yard play. They want the 50, 60-yard play, and they made the big mistake, and that's the difference in the game.
A week ago, the Colts trailed Cincinnati 14-0 and came back. That's something unusual for an Indianapolis team. Well, a year ago, during their losing streak, it looked like they would give up when they had adversity. But under Ron Meyer, they've been able to come back.
Well, Ron Meyer has instilled a confidence in this team because Ron Meyer himself is not an up-and-down guy. He takes things in stride, and he's been around, and I think the players know this, that he is the type of coach that isn't going to panic, and so they won't panic either.
Quad Reveiz will kick it off for Miami. Dolphins leading by a 10-0 count. Taken, and the flag falls down to the 25-yard line. And we'll check out the penalty marker. Here's Fred Wyant with a call. Get his mic working. I know the feeling. I never heard the call. Did you, Dave? I think it was an illegal block against the Colts. It'll set them back to their 11-yard line. There's Ron Meyer, the Colts head coach. Hogaboom. Across the middle, complete. Booza has it for a quick Colt first down to the 32-yard line of Indianapolis. Bud Brown, the free safety, made the saving tackle as Booza just sprinted upfield, and Hogaboom hit him right on the money.
In every zone defense, there's a seam. There's an area quarterback can throw to. It has to come fast, and it has to come there before Brown gets there. He's really a vulnerable receiver until that ball gets there. The only way you can stop that pattern is to hit him hard when he catches it. If the timing's right, it's going to succeed.
Out to the 30 and a Colt first down. Nothing much there as George Wansley gets his first carry of the day. Wansley, 4-year veteran out of Mississippi State, has had a knee injury. Didn't play against Cincinnati. Gets the call here and stopped by Bob Brzezinski after no gain on the play. Wansley in for one play, now leaves the game, replaced by Albert Bentley. Booza and Brooks are wide to the right on 2nd and 10. Hogaboom steps up and delivers. Incomplete. Dropped by Brandis. John Brandis had it for a moment, couldn't hold it as he was defended on the play by Bud Brown.
One thing the Colts don't have the Dolphins do is skilled players. Brandis is not skilled yet. As you see Hogaboom take a shot, Brandis has to catch the ball. The Colts have had a couple balls, a couple miscues that really are a factor of the fact that their skilled players are not up to the level of the Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins had no quarterback sacks against New England a week ago. They pressured Hogaboom a couple of times today, but no official sacks as yet. 3rd and 10. Hogaboom in trouble, gets away. Oh, he had a man for a moment, and he didn't deliver it quite soon enough. Booza was behind the defense,
But as he scrambled, the defense able to recover, and Lifford Hobley in on the nickel for Miami was able to deflect the pass. Clues of the intended receiver as the Colts punting team comes on.
The pass being deflected. Good defensive play. When you get a scramble in a scramble situation, Hogaboom did a great job. Your receivers are breaking their route. They're trying to get open. A defense has to make a good play to stop that type of a pass.
Ron Stark, excuse me, Dave. Ron Stark, the NFL's leading punter career-wise at 45.2 this season, averaging 52.3 a kick, second in the National Football League. He had a 63-yarder a week ago against Cincinnati. This one not quite as long. Taken by Schwades. Tries to get upfield and to the outside and does. He's got a wall set up. Finally knocked out of bounds by Stark, but in Colt territory. Schwades with a good return. A 43-yard kick, but Schwades brought it back 25. And Miami with great field position, leading 10-0 with 10:57 remaining in the second quarter. Here's Schwades on the run back, and Miami in shape again with that 10-0 lead.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda, bringing performance and value together. That's the Mazda way. By the Stanley Works. Stanley helps you do things right. And by Tandy Computers, because there is no better value, only at Radio Shack.
Tom Hammond and Dave Casper from the Hoosier Dome, where the Dolphins have a first down on the Colt 47, leading 10-0. The first two Dolphin possessions resulting in scores. And Marino swings it to Hampton. Hampton gets across the 45 down to the 44, perhaps the 43-yard line, where Dave Aarons makes the stop. The Dolphins, 11 plays a touchdown on their first possession, 8 plays a field goal on their second, and good field position here for their third possession of the game.
Watch Dan Marino look downfield. Now he goes to the screen to the right. By looking downfield, he keeps the defensive secondary and linebackers back, dropping off in the zone, looking for the pass before they can come up and try and stop the screen. Good play.
4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6 for Miami. There's Hampton from the University of Florida in his third year. Motion is played. Hampton behind blockers to the 39 of Indianapolis. Cliff Oldham made the stop there. It'll bring up a third down for Miami. Oldham, 7 years out of Texas, Arlington.
Watch Oldham. Watch him jump over a block. Here comes Woody Betty. He's leading. Good leg work. That's not easy to do because he has to get over the block, get rid of that, get the leg out of the man's way, and make the tackle. Also notice there was a big hole there that somebody else was doing some good blocking.
Oldham ejected from the game against Cincinnati in the fourth quarter a week ago for fighting. But the leading tackler, despite missing some time. Hampton didn't get much. John Hand met him at the pass. It'll be close to the first down. John Hand out of Alabama, first-round draft choice, the 4th player taken in '86.
Watch Woody Bennett, number 34. He's leading the play. But John Hand comes from the backside. The front side of the play, the right side, was blocked well. Somebody just forgot to block who they thought was an insignificant man, Hand. They allowed him to become very significant by catching the play from behind.
Hand, the All-American from Alabama, joining Krause and Bennett as Alabama first-round picks. Cornelius Bennett, of course, yet to sign. The Dolphins will go for it on 4th and 1. Tight formation. Davenport. It's going to be close. It'll depend on the spot. Spun to the ground by Eugene Daniel. And the fans applaud the defense as the Colts hold them for the first time today. And we'll see if that can give the offense some momentum.
Notice where they want to go. All of a sudden he breaks to the right. This is a big play. The second hit there looks like it was Nesby Glasgow. The second hit, you need the second hit to put the man down. The first man cannot stop without getting a little extra yardage.
Daniel held on to him, and then Glasgow put the clincher. They're going to measure for the first down now. The teams thought they had not picked it up. They changed on the field, and officially the Dolphins asked for a measurement, and you can see it's nearly a yard short of the first down. Good defense by the Colts on a crucial play. They needed to establish their defense, and they did it right here.
Not a good move to making short yardage going outside. Whenever you go lateral to the line of scrimmage, you lose a lot of your momentum.
So the Colts will take over at their own 38-yard line. Remember now, the Colts have been able to move the ball against Miami, but they haven't gotten any points. In their last drive, they seemed to be going. They had moved into Miami territory when a fumble gave the ball to Miami. So Indianapolis now will try to get the offense going. Gary Hogeboom getting the start today, despite playing with sprained ligaments in his left thumb. He had a pin in that thumb, which was taken out yesterday, actually day before yesterday, and he has a cast, a soft cast on his left hand. Hogeboom was the quarterback who came in off the injured list to lead the Colts to those 3 wins. And see his left hand there. He takes the snaps with that hand on the bottom, and it's not much of a problem. Handoffs to the left and passing, not much of a problem. But where he runs into difficulty is passing on or handing off to his right. Why is that a problem?
Well, a handoff to the left, all you need is your right hand. One hand puts the ball in the man's stomach. Handing off to your right, if a person would do it at home to visualize it, you would need your left hand. Since he can't hold the ball in his left hand alone, he has to use 2 hands. Now all of a sudden you've got a bunch of extra mass there getting in the way. Your elbow could hit the running back's elbow. There's all kinds of ifs, ands, and buts and nervousness, especially in Ron Meyer's part.
It's a bit awkward for Hogeboom, and we talked to Albert Bentley yesterday too, and he said it would take a little extra care on his part as well as the quarterbacks. So far they have not had any miscues, but is it a chance that that could mess up the timing of those running plays?
I don't think so. I think everything is going just fine. Coaches and players worry about these things. When you get in the game, it's let's forget about it and play hard.
This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Indianapolis Colts and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins, and the Indianapolis Colts. All rights reserved. Hogeboom on first down has Brooks. Close to midfield where he's taken out of bounds after picking up a first down. 11 yards on the play to the Indianapolis 49 where Paul Langford nudges him out of bounds. Hogeboom again hitting Brooks.
Another zone defense. Take what they give you. Get the ball there fast. Throw it in his chest. A play like this looks easy, and it is. But if he would miss the ball, all of a sudden you're 2nd and 10. It's not designed to gain a lot of yardage, but sometimes it might.
Hogeboom is hit on 7 of 11. You see Brooks has caught 3 of them. On first down, Bentley carries for the 9th time today and burrows his way into Miami territory. He got about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down coming up and give him 4. 2nd and 6 for Indianapolis from the 47 of Miami. 37 yards on the afternoon for Bentley, who had 77 a week ago. Indianapolis again in Miami territory with Bentley the lone setback. 2 wide receivers left, Bouza and Brooks. Give it to Bentley. Off right tackle. Falls forward to the 40. It'll be close to an Indianapolis first down. We'll see where they spot the ball and if he did get first down yardage before the rookie Rick Graff was able to stop him. As you see the ticker, Walter Payton got the Chicago touchdown after a quiet Monday night against New York, and Brett Fullwood, the rookie out of Auburn for Green Bay, scored the Packers touchdown. First down for Indianapolis. The Colts have it at the 40, trailing 10-0 with 7:18 remaining in the first half of play. Bouza in motion. Play action fake. Hogeboom, plenty of time. Throws it complete to Bouza. He's got a first down and gets inside the Miami 20-yard line. Great catch by Bouza, defended by Mark Brown and Bud Brown on the play, but Hogeboom split the defenders and Bouza makes the first down grab.
As Hogeboom goes back and gets good protection, you see Beach, number 81, come across the field. He pulls the secondary up so that Bouza can get behind him. There's a deep coverage and there's a coverage that is in front of Bouza. Beach, number 81, had to get across the field to pull the under coverage up so that Bouza could be, the ball could get in behind them to Bouza. Good play.
21-yard reception. Judson beaten on the play. And the Colts have it first down at the Dolphin 19. Bentley tries to get outside. Not much there. Maybe got a yard, perhaps 2. Jackie Schiff, who's been playing very tough against the run, the left inside linebacker for Miami, makes the stop here. Shipp, the leading tackler on the squad after the first game, as you see, number 50 in white, who was the second leading tackler last year for Miami with 85. He's out of Oklahoma, even though his dad works for Oklahoma State University in Stillwater. Big rivals, and Shipp electing to go to OU for his college career. 2nd and 8. Hogaboom lost it for Brooks. He can't get it. Good defense that time by Paul Langford, who got a hand up to bat it away. Langford had an interception against New England a week ago. Good position here.
Now, that is tough. You notice that he just had a second to see the ball, and it takes a lot of skill, a lot of athletic ability that you can't teach a person how to look back, find the ball, knock it down without having a pass interference penalty. Awfully good play.
3rd down coming up for Indianapolis. They're 2 out of 4 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. There are the numbers on Hogaboom. 3rd and 8, Indianapolis. Hogaboom for the end zone. Booza's got the touchdown. Booza picking up his first touchdown grab of the season. First touchdown pass also for Gary Hogaboom. Biasucci out of the hold by Stark for the extra point. It's good, and the Indianapolis Colts have drawn within 3. Play covered 7 plays and 62 yards with Booza catching the touchdown pass. Miami 10-7. Terrific catch for the Indianapolis touchdown. It covered 17 yards, and he gathered it in just in the corner of the end zone. Watch it.
Watch the protection. Now watch how easy this play looks. Hogaboom's got the room to throw. Look at the spiral. Look how pretty spiral it is. What that also does, it gives Booza a definite object he can see. He knows what shape the ball's going to be in. He can put his hands on the ball. He's not worried about having his fingers hurt by a wobbly ball or something like that. Very important.
So the Colts are back in the game as Biasucci sends it deep. And it'll be a touchback as Stratford will down it in the end zone. And the Colts will begin at their own 20-yard line. Gary Hogaboom throwing his first touchdown pass of the season. He's a fiery guy, and boy, he's happy about this one. He's trying to get his teammates excited, too. There's Gary Hogaboom, who heads to the end zone to congratulate Matt Booza after they hooked up for the touchdown. Hogaboom, the popular quarterback, a team leader. Ron Meyer likes him. He says he's a fiery guy. He even picked a fight or 2 in training camp, and he says that bothers a coach sometimes, but they're also the kind of things that can make him great. Miami has it now, first down from the Dolphin 20. Marino will try to answer from the air. He's got a man wide open. It's complete to Duper, and he's to midfield before he's nudged out of bounds by Eugene Daniel. The Dolphins go right back to work and hit for a 30-yard completion. Marino to Duper on their first play.
As Duper runs his pattern, watch how much time he takes to set it up. He looks in. You've got to realize that they're getting protection for Marino. The ball is right there in his stomach. He's wide open. It was just an awfully good play or an awfully poor defensive play.
28 yards officially to Duper, who is marked out of bounds at the 48 of Miami. Dolphins with a first down. Quickly, they come right back after seeing their lead trimmed to 3. Minutes left in the first half. Dolphins up 10-7. Knocked down by Hand, incomplete. Well, true to his name, Hand got a big paw up there in the firing line and deflected Marino's pass. That big hand of John's was wrapped around a shot put where he was a champion in high school, and he made short work of this ball off Marino's hand.
It's very hard to throw it over something that big. You'll notice the Colts are only rushing 3 linemen. That might be what's giving Marino that added time.
Hand is 6'7". 2nd and 10, Miami. The give is to Stratford. Tries the right side and fights forward for a gain of about 7. Donnell Thompson, the left defensive end, finally drags down the rookie Stratford. But it's a good gain on the play. They'll spot the ball just shy of the 40. Excuse me, just shy of the 45. It's on the 46 of Indianapolis. And it'll be 3rd and 4, 6 yards on the game. Another crucial 3rd down play coming up from Miami. Marino's in the shotgun. There you see Duper. And the pass is complete. It'll be a Dolphin 1st down inside the 40-yard line of Indianapolis. Catch made on the play by Mark Clayton. Daniel and Robinson take him down, but Clayton has 1st down yardage.
It's just a simple pass, a simple catch. They did it right. They don't have to get too complex, too fancy. Just throw the ball and catch it.
Here's that patented quick release by Dan Marino. Maybe the quickest release in football. One of the reasons he's never sacked, and one of the reasons he gets the ball to his receivers just as they make their break. 1st down Dolphins at the 38 of Indianapolis. Take the running play. Plenty of time. Marino delivers to Hardy. 1st down to the 25 of Indianapolis, where Cliff Odom stops him. With Miami leading 10-7 and 4:18 on the clock for the 1st half, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WSVN Channel 7, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
2nd quarter, now 4 minutes left, and Miami holding a 10-7 lead on the Indianapolis Colts, but the Dolphins are driving with a 1st down at the Colt 25. Marino steps up. Got a man open, overshot him. It was Duper who made his break at about the 2, and Marino's pass too tall.
That ball looked like it did slip out of his hands. I wonder if the finger bothered him on that one.
Marino's ring finger on his right hand is swollen and discolored. The knuckle, the middle knuckle, is enlarged, and here you'll see he just lets it go, and a wobbly pass over the head of the intended Duper. And Marino has been playing with a little splint on the back side of that finger, but not wearing it today. And as he delivers this ball, you'll see that he knows that he missed his man. 2nd and 10. Stratford. Hog collared and taken down at the 22 by Barry Krause. Krause had his right knee operated on last year after an injury. The first injury of his career, and he had major reconstructive surgery. Was in and out of the hospital for weeks at a time. Made his first return to action a week ago in Cincinnati in the 4th quarter. And is back in a starting spot this year. Krause, 9 years out of Alabama. 3rd and 7 for Miami from the 22 of Indianapolis. Clock approaching 3 minutes, 1st half. Marino across the middle. Great catch by Jensen. Jim Jensen in on the play, makes the grab before Freddie Robinson stops him, and the Miami drive stays alive. He'll have a 1st down at the 14-yard line.
Jim Jensen's listed as a backup tight end, a backup quarterback, and receiver. Now, this is probably an option route. He has the choice of going and wants to go. The fact is he made a great catch. Freddie Robinson all over him. You can never discount what talent can do for you. He's got great hands.
And, of course, he had enough sense of where he was on the field to pick up 1st down yardage by about a yard to spare.
Good point.
Clock under 2.5. Marino having another excellent day. That one, I believe he short hopped it. Incomplete, intended for Duper. Caught it on the 1st bounce. It'll go incomplete and be 2nd and 10 for Miami. Dolphins have advanced from their own 20 down to the 14 of Indianapolis.
Kenny Stabler used to always say high ball drinker, low ball thrower. I don't know if Dan Marino goes along with that one, but Snake used to love it.
It'll go incomplete, and the 2nd down coming up for Miami. Flag down. Pass is complete to the 10. Davenport out of the backfield made the grab, then surrounded by blue shirts with Odom leading the charge, but a penalty flag down. It'll go against Indianapolis. Costly penalty here. We saw an Indianapolis mistake, a fumble, take them out of a promising offensive drive earlier. And here a penalty could nullify a pretty good defensive play.
As Dan Marino drops back to pass, look to your right side of your screen and see if we can see somebody giving an illegal check down the field. Now, it already came. What happened? A man went down 6-7 yards, and you bumped him. You got to leave him alone after it's down 5 yards. People get a little excited and they break the rules sometimes and they get caught.
It's 2nd and 5 now for Miami. 2nd and 5 as you see what the drive has done so far. And Miami, no, the officials take a timeout. Is that right?
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. All right. It's 2 minutes left in the first half as the Dolphins unable to get the play away before the clock is stopped at the 2-minute warning. We'll have that 2-minute warning with Miami holding a 3-point lead. 5 for Miami. Dolphins leading 10-7. 2 minutes left in the first half. Stratford tries the right side, cuts up, gets down to about the 6 where he's thrown back. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Odom stood him straight up and pushed him back.
Miami not trying to get the first down all at once. They're going to say, let's get 3 or 4 yards. Watch Odom make the play. Notice how he's got his shoulders heading right upfield. He's not turned sideways. He was in good position. Sometimes defensive people, they just want to keep running. They don't want to get square, but he was in a perfect position with his legs underneath him to stop him dead.
There's Odom, number 93, on the sideline now as the Dolphins have it 3rd and 2. Marino fires for the end zone. It's a touchdown. Jensen with the touchdown grab. June James, an inside linebacker, trying to cover Jensen. But Jensen catches it at the goal line and falls in for the score.
Jim Jensen, number 11, has a choice on this play to go wherever he wants to go. Watch Marino throw the ball. Jensen wanted to go in. He turned right back out. That's an option pattern. He's got man-to-man coverage. The other 4 wide receivers are clearing out. It's Jim Jensen, you go and do what you want to do, and we're going to get you the ball.
The Dolphins just have so many weapons. Bad snap. Strock can't hold it. Reveiz can't get the kick away, and the extra point will be no good. Willie Thomas finally gathered up the football, but Strock couldn't handle the snap. And so a miscue on the Miami extra point attempt. With 1:12 left, the lead is 16-7 Miami. 3 of their 4 possessions this half, they're up 16-7, although failing on that extra point attempt after Strock can't handle the snap.
Snap's a little bit high. The greatest thing to watch here, look at the ball on the ground, watch Reveiz's feet. Jumping him out of the way, saying, I don't want any part of this. You guys can play football. I want to sit over there and talk about it.
Well, like a surgeon protects his hands, he's protecting his lifeline there, his feet.
Well, not only that, the coach doesn't want him hurt. Those kickers are really important. As much trouble as the players give them, they're very important.
Here's the kick by Reveiz, taken by Daniel, who's got some running room. Finally tripped up at about the 29-yard line. Of course, speaking of injuries to kickers, the Dolphins lost Reggie Roby, their punter, a week ago, but that hasn't been a factor. They haven't punted today. Well, stay tuned for NFL Live coming up at halftime. Frank DeFord will talk about the major issues separating the owners and the players at the moment, free agency. We'll also have all the latest scores and highlights. That's coming up at halftime on NFL Live. And a reminder to our viewers, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the contest. Whistle blows that play dead, and Hogaboom doesn't like it as he slams the ball to the turf. We told you Hogaboom was a fiery guy. He let his feelings be known on that one right in front of the official. He spiked the ball after Fred Wyatt had blown it dead.
First timeout.
Miami had stopped the clock with a timeout. Fans don't like it. Hogaboom doesn't like it.
I think he's upset.
With 1:07 left, Hogaboom tries to collect himself on the short end of a 16-7 count. 2 touchdown passes in the game so far, and that moves him right up the rankings. He is now 3rd all-time in consecutive games with a touchdown pass. He has thrown a touchdown pass, at least one, in 26 straight games, passing Darryl LaMonica into 3rd place and setting dead aim on Dave Craig of the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, Johnny Unitas, the former Colt, way out in front of those standings. 47 straight games he threw at least 1 touchdown pass. In that familiar Colt uniform.
I'm sure it was his haircut. You know that a lot of kids are trying to copy him now.
Here's Hogaboom to pass. Got a man upfield. Oh, he dropped it. Bellini, Mark Bellini, who dropped one last week against Cincinnati, lets this one go through his hands. The rookie from BYU had a first down and then some.
You know, a receiver can make great catches, but any catch you make in the box score looks like a great one. If they put the ball in the soft part of your underbelly, you've got to catch it. People will always remember you dropping the easy ones. No matter how easy the catch was, they look great in the scoreboard the next day. And you've got to catch those easy ones. That's the secret to make a good receiver, is catch the easy ball.
2 games and 2 crucial drops for Bellini. You have to wonder about his status remaining on this team. Bentley takes the swing pass for 9 yards and out of bounds to stop the clock with 56 seconds left in the first half. He wanted the first down, but he won't get the spot. They'll mark it a gain of 9 and just shy of the first down, as you see. .56 ticks of the clock remaining. First half of play from the Hoosier Dome. Miami has scored 3 times in 4 possessions in the first half. They lead at 16-7. We're going to bring the chains out onto the field now to mark the spot exactly. And it'll be 3rd down and short yardage here for the Colts. What kind of play do you call? You've only got 56 seconds left, so you want to try to go to the end zone. But on the other hand, you've got less than a yard for a first down, and you've got to keep that alive, too.
I think with 3 timeouts, I believe they have, you can just get the first down, make sure you've got the ball, make sure you've got possession. On the other hand, if you're looking to do something, you might try it now and go for it on 4th down. Try for a big play on 3rd.
We'll see what they call. Wide receiver to either side. Booz is set up as a wingback on the right, and Bentley the only setback. It'll be Bentley. Oh, he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Spun down back at the 39-yard line by Jackie Shipp. Shipp has been awfully tough against the running plays today.
First timeout.
So, a timeout called, and watch it from the end zone as Bentley is stopped.
The offensive guard got his feet tied up by another person, but the fact of the matter is Shipp shed the block, made the play, and made a good tackle. It's difficult to stop a man in his tracks. I don't know if you can explain how hard it is to stop a good back without gaining yardage after you first hit him.
Shipp, of course, we talked about his speed earlier. He has strength, too. In fact, bench presses over 400 pounds, and that strength comes into play here as he collars Bentley and spins him down short of first down yardage.
You notice he hit him high, too. If you want to stop a man for no gain, for no extra yardage, you have to be able to hit him high. If you hit him low, he's going to fall over you for extra yardage.
Well, we're going to take a close look at it. Perhaps they'll get the first down after all. It's that close. Hogaboom now rushes in, and they're trying to coach a little bit. Bentley says, too, I believe we got it by whisker, but no. They'll mark it short, just barely, and it'll be 4th down coming up for the Colts. You see 2 timeouts for either team remaining. 46 seconds showing on the clock for the first half, and the Dolphins up 16-7. Hogaboom had been on the sideline talking to Coach Meyer. When he saw they were going to measure after all, he ran out to get in his 2 cents worth.
Put some pads on him. Let him hit somebody.
The Colts had a couple of gadget plays they used against Cincinnati a week ago. They ran from punt formation on a 4th down, and they tried a flea flicker that went for a touchdown from Trudeau to Brooks. Coach Ron Meyer told us they do have a number of gadget plays that he says they will use from time to time. He says that's sort of a page out of Don Shula's book. Well, only 14 days left in the regular season of baseball, and pennant fever really heating up. The showdown in the American League East continues as Detroit slugs it out for first place with Toronto. Others will see the Cardinals try to hang on to first place in the National League East as they take on the Cubs. Major League Baseball, an inside look with Marv Albert starts it all off at 2 o'clock Eastern Time next Saturday. Bentley's got the first down, lugs it inside the past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Second timeout.
And the Colts stop the clock again with their second time out of the half. They'll have 1 left. And they'll have a first down at their own 47-yard line, 53 yards away from the end zone, as the Colts keep the drive going.
The problem has been not the fact that Indianapolis have been unable to move the ball. They have moved it. They've just made mistakes to take themselves out of a drive. And Ron Meyer said that's one of the things he tried to instill in this Colt team when he took them over last year, to simplify their attack, to have them concentrate on the things they do well, and to concentrate on not beating themselves. He said before the first game of the season, he got the players together and he said, there's only one team in the NFL that can beat you, and that's yourself. Don Shula, of course, has been a great motivator in his years in the NFL and is the NFL's winningest active coach and second all-time to George Halas. Don't forget, NFL Live at halftime. The free agency issue will be addressed by Frank DeFord, and all the scores and highlights on this second week of NFL action. First down, Indianapolis at their own 47. Pass complete to Bentley. Evaded one tackler, dives forward to the 47 of Miami. And the Colts quickly back up on the line of scrimmage. Only one timeout left. The clock ticks down now to 25 seconds. It'll be 2nd and 4. Hogaboom looks for the sideline pattern we thought, and then goes inside to Brooks, who makes the catch between a couple of defenders. But the fact that he did go inside forces him to spend that last time out. I thought he was looking for Booza, who was on the sideline. Instead, it went to Brooks inside. And the last time out goes by the board, so the Colts will have 16 seconds left to try to get a score, and they're 33 yards away from the Miami end zone.
You'd better throw it in the end zone if you're going to take a chance. If not, if you throw that ball anywhere but the end zone, they've been practicing during practice during the week how to run their entire team in there, line up with no huddle, and get it kicked within 10 seconds. I think it's pretty tough. They better throw. I'd take 3 shots at the end zone with 16 seconds.
16-7 Miami. The game plan for the Colts had to be to put together some drives and to score some points while keeping the ball away from the Miami offense, that high-powered offense. And here's Hogaboom today rushing over to call at timeout, and then I don't know what he's trying to do, to be honest. He doesn't want to take on Kevin Call. What was he trying to do?
I think Kevin Call was going after a Dolphin, and you don't need penalties. You don't need a 15-yarder at this point in time.
So Hogaboom protecting his player. Bentley on the swing pass. He's got blockers in front. Runs away from him. Bounces off a tackle. He's down inside the 20 to the 18. The clock now ticking down. 5 seconds left. Can they stop it in time? 3, 2, 1. That's the end of the half. Bentley needed to get out of bounds, and he made a crucial mistake over there. He stayed in bounds. They were unable to stop the clock.
Not only that, they were lining up to throw a quick stop the clock play, and they had the extra point team coming in, the field goal team.
So Indianapolis unable to stop the clock there, and again we see a bit of a miscue that prevents them from getting on the board just before halftime. Hogaboom right now is discussing that last play. Well, NFL Live halftime activities will continue in a moment. 16-7 Miami. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Tonight, play the Dolphins with a fairly conservative game plan, scoring 3 of the 4 times they had the football, and just so many ways the Dolphins can beat you.
I think Don Shula knows what he has to do to win. He doesn't have to do anything fancy. He thinks that the Dolphins are better than the Colts, and we're not going to lose this game. We're going to make the Colts lose it, and so far they've made the mistakes.
Can the Colts come back?
Sure, anything's possible in a cartoon. It's going to be tough. The score is 16-7, isn't it? They're behind. I mean, it's every time they say, sure, you can cover behind to win, but the chances are against it. But let's see, because the Colts have always been behind in every game they've won under Ron Meyer.
So under Ron Meyer, the Colts have come from behind. We'll see if they can today. As we said, the Dolphins have so many ways they can beat you. That was illustrated in the first half of play. Marino, everyone knows about. He's got a whole stable of receivers. Here he hits a rookie, Troy Stradford, for a touchdown. It covered 18 yards as Stradford shook off the would-be tackler and romped into the end zone for the first Miami score of the game. That put the Dolphins up 7-0. They would later score another touchdown to Jim Jensen. Indianapolis had 1 score in the first half, and that was Gary Hogaboom, his first touchdown pass of the season. Watch Matt Booza in the corner of the end zone make a great catch. It covers 17 yards to put the Colts on the board. Hogaboom lofts it for the corner. Booza, though he's well defended, will get up to make the catch, and the Colts have their only touchdown in the first half. So as we get ready for the second half of play, it is 16-7, the odd score coming about after the Dolphins missed an extra point attempt. Here are the first half stats. You see that the first downs are all even. The yards rushing very even. The yards passing also pretty close. And the Dolphins with a slight edge in total yards. And you see that the one turnover for the Colts was costly. It killed a drive. And really not much of a difference in the stats. The difference comes on the scoreboard where the Dolphins have that 16-7 lead. They have not punted in the game. They possessed the ball 4 times in that first half. And Don Shula's team is on the long end of the score after losing their opener in the rain at Foxborough against the Patriots a week ago. Dean Biasucci is on to kick it off for the Indianapolis Colts. Stratford and Schwades are deep for the Dolphins. And this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Here's Biasucci. Deep in the end zone. And it'll be down there. Biasucci kicking the ball deep into the end zone. And Stratford unable to take it out. So Biasucci does his job. And the Colt defense onto the field now as the Dolphins take over with a first down at their own 20. Dolphins have gotten the job done in the first half. You see they started on their 19. They scored a touchdown, their opening possession. Next time they got a field goal. The only time they didn't convert came on that third possession. So Marino has been right on target today. Here's the give on the first play to Woody Bennett. He doesn't get anything. He stopped right at the 20. Barry Krause came up to put the hit on him and gets congratulations from his teammates. There's Barry Krause. He made a stop just about like that back in the Sugar Bowl on a 4th down play back in 1979 against Penn State, which preserved the national championship for Alabama.
He's going to send a message saying, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're going to do the second half. Say, we're behind, but look out.
There's Barry Krause. It's 2nd and 10 for Miami. Marino's pass complete. Gain of 8 on the play as Krause again makes the stop back in pass coverage that time, but Hampton takes the reception, and he'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Again, the Colts are rushing 3 defensive linemen. Marino's going to get the time. They're saying, we're not going to rush you. We're going to cover all your receivers. It should be interesting to see if that's possible.
A touchdown pass to Schwades, a touchdown pass to Jensen for Marino today, who completed a pass in his 25th consecutive game, tying him with Darryl LaMonica on the all-time NFL list. It's 3rd and 1 officially. 3rd and 1. Pitch it to Hampton. Cuts up. He stopped shy of the 30. It'll be close, but I don't believe he made it. Cliff Odom came up to stop him. They needed to get to the 30. And I believe he's just shy. Cliff Odom gave you his view.
Woody Bennett going across the screen leading this with Davenport. They got all their men there. Now he has to jump too far away. He had to jump 3 yards backwards, and he's going lateral to the line of scrimmage, has no forward momentum. He couldn't make it. They had defensive penetration.
And Barry Krause was the man that originally stacked up the play, and then Odom came in to put the stop. They're going to measure, but the players think that it's short as they've already gotten punt and punt return teams onto the field. This would be the first punt of the day for the Miami Dolphins. Remember, their regular punter, Reggie Roby, was injured a week ago, so they signed Jeff Hayes. They had 5 punters in camp the last week, and they signed Hayes to do the punting. He played for the Bengals and Redskins.
That was an interesting situation. Since the ball was in the end zone down, it had to come out to the 20. They obviously had to get it over the 30-yard line. What are you measuring for? You know the ball's got to cross the 30. They started in the 20.
There's Hayes, who averaged 35.1 a kick with the Bengals last year. Willie Tullis is deep for the Colts. Tullis fumbled the ball, picked it up again, gets back to the 40-yard line where he's covered by the special teams of the Dolphins. A 33-yard kick by Hayes, but only 2 yards on the return by Tullis, as the kick wasn't very far, but the Dolphin coverage was good. Here are the scores from around the National Football League, Week 2, and we don't know if it may be the last week of the season. The owners say they will continue if there is a player strike. Right now, everything in limbo. And these second week games, very important. Look at the Bengals. After squeaking out a 2-point win against Indianapolis last week here, they're putting it on the 49ers. Pitch to Bentley. Lugs it forward for 2 before he's ridden out of bounds.
There's going to be an important set of series here. The Dolphins, for the first time, were stopped on the punt. The Colts are saying, we're going to come back. They sent a message with the big hits. They're coming out here in the second half and say, we're going to make a difference. Now, I'm looking for Ron Meyer to come up with one of these plays right now.
You look for a gadget play here?
Yeah, one thing he does is he doesn't wait till he needs him at the end of a half when everybody's looking for him. Last week, for example, he did them when you weren't expecting him, and this is a time when you wouldn't really expect it.
One score in their 5 possessions of the first half. Hogaboom. Bentley can't handle it. Started to turn upfield, started to run before he caught the ball. It'll go incomplete and bring up a 3rd and 7. Ron Meyer thought he had some running room for Bentley, and Bentley just took his eyes off the ball.
He probably did. He saw probably Brudzinski come and said, wait a minute, maybe I'll take the next catch when I'm a little bit more open.
Did you ever have one eye looking at the defense, and did you know who that was closing in on you?
All the time. If a receiver can't hear footsteps, he's going to get killed.
Hogaboom on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he's sacked. That's the first sack of the day for either team. And the Dolphins get their first sack of the season as Brian Sauché, the nose tackle, comes through to nail Hogaboom.
The protection breaks down. This could be called a coverage. And Sauché gets in there and presses him out. There's nobody open. And they call him under control. He was being pulled backwards. They would have called the ball down. And I think even if it hadn't been under control, they would have had to call grounding.
Brian Sauché, 5 years out of Northwest Oklahoma, gets the first sack of the afternoon. And Ron Stark is on to punt. Miami Dolphins recording their first sack of the '87 season. Taking a lot of time here. And that flag goes down. Dave, what happened? The
delay.
30-second clock ticked down, but what was the mix-up for the Colts that they couldn't get the punt away?
I think I'm going to have trouble figuring out when I don't think the Colts were quite figuring it out. They were counting the defenders on one side and the other. You saw the fullback in the formation, the man right in front of the punter, move from one side to the other. I don't really think they knew what they were doing.
4th down.
Fred Wyant with a call, and it'll be another 4th down situation coming up as they move it 5 yards further back. There's Stark on his 2 punts today, well below his normal average. Scott Schwades of Miami standing back on his own 30. Again, they take a lot of time. Stark gets a low snap. Gets the kick away. Schwades calls for a fair catch, but then doesn't field it. And the ball takes a Miami bounce and will be down by the Colts at about the 40-yard line of Miami. Only a 37-yard kick by Ron Stark, who is below his normal form today. So the Dolphins have the ball back. 11:09 remaining 3rd quarter, and the Dolphins in front.
Buy Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by IBM.
Tom Hammond and Dave Casper at the Hoosier Dome. Our producer Jeff Himes, our director John DeLisa. The Miami Dolphins leading the Indianapolis Colts 16-7 with 11:09 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Dolphins with a first down at their own 40. Marino, plenty of time, and has Hampton. Hampton is taken down at about the 43-yard line. Give him a gain of 3. And it's Dave Aarons on the stop for Indianapolis.
Plays like that should end up in the running statistics. They're so easy to complete. Little fake in there, throw it out there. But they have 3 and 4 yards. A play like that can demoralize a defense. They think, oh, they're gaining yards. And what a defense can't do is get demoralized. Start to take chances, start to make the big mistake, and those little plays turn into big ones.
3-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Dolphins as they spot the ball on the 43 of Miami. Stratford gets a couple to the 45-yard line as the Dolphins keep it on the ground, and the 2 inside backers for the Colts ready for it as Odom and Aarons pursue to the sideline to stop Stratford. Stratford with 26 yards on the day, but remember he had a touchdown grab on a pass from Marino. He's only 5'9", 191 pounds, out of Boston College. year ago, he was the most valuable player in the Japan Bowl. As we told you earlier, the leading rusher all time for Boston College. Promising rookie. He was only a 4th-round draft choice. 3rd and 5. Marino from the shotgun. Pumps. Fires wide open, complete, I believe, to Jensen. Yes, it is Jensen who makes the first down grab. June James stops him in on the nickel defense for the Colts, but it's enough for a first down, and you have to be impressed with the way the Dolphins keep converting those 3rd downs after being so dismal in that statistic a week ago.
A lot of time. Marino finds him. Look at Marino. Wanted to throw the ball downfield. Jensen came out late. He started to block. They dropped off in the zone. He comes open. Marino has a great ability to look, see something's going wrong, and find a better person. Watch Dan Marino's hips here. You notice he doesn't take a step. Watch this. He doesn't step like most quarterbacks. He twists his hips. The twisting allows him to throw and get the ball, get rid of the ball quicker.
First down for the Dolphins. Marino, plenty of time again, drills it. Pass caught by Hampton, who runs for a first down to the 25-yard line of Indianapolis, where Nesby Glasgow finally chases him down. But Marino has got that game clicking now. He hit Hampton out of the backfield for another Dolphin first down.
Watch Dan Marino. Watch his patience here. He's just so cool. He's looking downfield, waiting for something to happen. Nothing's happening yet. And he's not in a hurry. He's got the protection. And look, the receiver, Bradford worked open. He went down the field. He worked and worked and worked, came back to Dan Marino and made a big play.
Hampton, good on the reception for 23 yards and a Dolphin first down at the Colt 25. On the ground, the handoff goes to Stratford. Cracks his way inside the 20 where Glasgow meets him. Goes down at about the 18-yard line. On their first possession this half, the Dolphins punted for the first time in the game, but here in the second possession of the 3rd quarter, they got that offense cranked up again.
Hasn't bothered him a bit. Couple nice passes, big plays, come back with the draw. The defensive line's trying to take off, get the pass rush, get six yards on first down. 2nd and 4 is a heck of a good time to do anything you want, because even if you don't make it, you still got 3rd and 4.
Marino sends Pruitt wide to the right, and he's got Duper to the left. For Pruitt, he's got it. He's wide open. Out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Willie Tullis rides him out. But it'll be another Dolphin first down, and they're knocking on the Indianapolis goal once again.
This is the worst place to have 1st and goal, obviously in the 10-yard line. The yardage is, the whole field shrunk down. It's tough to really take the defense and get them back off into a zone. You're going to get man-to-man coverage. You're going to get tight. I look for the Dolphins to come up throwing right off the bat here.
57-5-24 on hand at the Hoosier Dome, and right now they're seeing an awesome display of offense by the Dolphins. First down at the 10. Almost intercepted. Tullis had it, and his teammate Robinson knocked it away. Tullis, I believe, had the interception, and Robinson stripped him of the ball.
Dan Marino dropping back, makes the throw. Let's watch the defense here. Watch him close. Ball got there a little late, don't you think, Tom?
And I don't believe Robinson even hit him. I thought that Robinson, as I looked at it, had knocked the ball away, but Tullis just unable to handle it, and Robinson never touched him. So Tullis unable to hold what would appear to have been an interception. 2nd down. Marino. Touchdown. This time it's Mark Clayton, the 3rd man today that Marino has hit for a touchdown. Marino equals his total of a week ago, 3 touchdown passes and to 3 different receivers. This time Clayton from 10 yards away, as he just catches the pass over the middle and takes it into the end zone.
You'll watch Clayton coming over the middle. He had to come from a long way away. There was good time, good protection. Watch his power running. Put your head down and get in the end zone. That's pretty good for a little bitty guy, a little smurf.
5'9", 175. Revés, remember they miscued on their last extra point attempt, but this one right through the uprights. And the Miami Dolphins score the first points of the 2nd half. 7:19 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and right now the Dolphins drowning the Colts. And a couple of key games next week on NBC Sports. The Tigers and the Blue Jays slug it out for first place in the American League East. And in the National League East, we'll have the Cardinals and Cubs, starting with Marv Albert's baseball, an inside look at 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Breves will kick it off for the Dolphins. And Kenny Daniel gathers it in at the 9-yard line. Picks his way forward, fumbled the football. Let's see who has it. Obviously, the Dolphins are saying they have picked it off. And the officials agree. So another key Colt mistake, and the air-inflated roof here at the Hoosier Dome is about to cave in.
Yesterday, talking to Don Shula, we asked him, your defense is nicked up. It's not exactly what you would call the world's toughest. Are you going to take any chances? Are you going to blitz? He said, I can't afford to take chances. Most coaches would take a chance, would try and make their defense better than what it is. But Don Shula said, we're going to let the other team beat themselves. We're not going to beat ourselves, and that's what's happening. Don Shula is patiently allowing the Colts to beat themselves. There's no real big hit here. Tuck the ball away, protect it. That's just, he's not protecting the ball. Back in Pee Wee football, they told me not to carry it like a loaf of bread. I'm not saying he did there, but protect the ball. You can't afford those mistakes.
Jensen recovered it for the Dolphins. He's having a big day. Has a touchdown reception, now a fumble recovery. And Dan Marino is hit on 18 of 24 for 3 scores today and 231 yards as a first down at the 29 of the Colts. And looking for more, he's hit by Bickett just as he tries to release the ball. It'll be a sack or an incomplete pass. No, I believe it's a live football. What are they saying?
I'm sure we're going to get a replay anyway by the officials, but
Cliff Odom wound up with a football. Here it is again.
Well, let's see. Did he move the ball forward, or was he hit before the ball was actually being moved forward by his arm? He's hit right now. That's a fumble to me. Sure enough, and nobody blows the whistle right now. The alert people don't hear it. They're going to get the ball. Somebody. Now watch the offensive lineman from Miami here. Watch him sitting on the ground. I don't know if they realize it's a fumble.
Dwayne Bickett stripped the ball loose as he hit Marino. Was definitely a fumble. And the Colts are all over.
Review, the play stands. First down.
So again, the replay confirms the ruling. It definitely was a fumble. The ball is loose, and the Colts have a break just when it looked like they were about to be blown out for the Dolphins. So the teams trade fumbles, and the Colts have it back at their own 41-yard line. Bickett, the first-round draft choice and the defensive rookie of the year a couple of years ago, making the big play. Booz is in motion. Hogaboom rolling right. Way downfield intended for Brooks. Oh, he dropped it. Had it for a moment and then dropped it. Paul Langford defending on the play. Let's go now to NFL Live and Bob Costas.
Okay, Tom, at one point in Cleveland, the Browns led the Steelers 10-0. That lead has evaporated. Here we are in the third quarter. Kozar throws to Kevin Mack. Hit by Greg Carr of the Steelers. He coughs it up. Donnie Shell picks it up. 19 yards later, he's in the end zone, and the game is tied at 10 in the third quarter. Tom?
All right, Bob, the Steelers and Browns tied up on the shores of Lake Erie, and here the fans are really letting the officials have it. They wanted an interference call. See what you think.
Well, I think they thought he might have caught the ball. I'm sure there's a replay official looking at this one, too. They ought to get that guy in the field so the people can see him. Now, the ball, does he have it for 2 steps? Is he on the ground? Does he get his both feet down? That's 1 step. That's 2 steps. Now, if he strips the ball there, it's a reception. If that ball's stripped away, then it's a reception. To me, it looked like a reception. In my opinion, he caught the ball.
40 yards on the reception, then 9 yards after he had fumbled it.
Now, look, he's got to get 2 feet on the ground. There's 1. There's 2. Now, see if the ball was stripped away.
I agree with you. I think that's got to be a catch. They're reviewing it. The replay official taking a look and communicating with the men on the field, as you can see right there.
See, those replay officials are up in the booth. They're away from the fans. Those officials down the field. When I used to watch games, we used to boo the officials and have a great time. Now they took that guy and stuck him up in some box somewhere where we can't find him to boo him.
We found him with our camera, and the fans didn't have any problem with their booing. They were let Cal Lepore have it. There's Lepore reviewing the replays. No question about Hogaboom's thoughts.
What I want to know is, how do you boo that camera when you're mad? You say your mother's out of focus, or... We used to sit there and get mad at the officials. They blew the play. They're human beings. scream at him like you boo anybody else, but the camera's hard to argue with.
Don Shula is very passive. You know, Brooks made a great reception on that play. He appeared to be well covered, and whether they rule it a catch or not, he did show a lot of ability to come down for the ball, apparently for 2 steps, and they're taking a good long look at it.
Awful nice throw, too. It really was. It was a good play. It just might be nullified by the official or might be put back by the camera. Watch the ball. It's right there on his hand. He's covered well. Good defense. Excellent throw. So far, it looks like an excellent catch. The ball comes out.
Does he have control of it? It appears that he has control. Now the ball comes loose.
The rule states control means that you can do something common to the game of football. Now, what does that mean? You can lateral it, you can throw it, you can punt it, you can run with it. Control means you were able to do something common to the game of football. If they say that, then he's got control.
We don't have a watch on how long they're taking to review it, but it has been a long time. And now the umpire conferring with Fred Winant.
After further review, the play is inconclusive. Incomplete.
So the play inconclusive. They have to have conclusive evidence to turn over a decision. And so if there is not conclusive evidence, the ruling stands as it was made on the field.
I can agree with that call. Even though I thought it was a reception, I don't know if I could say 100% it was a reception. In that situation, go with what the official thought. Leave it on the field. Don't change them unless you know for sure. And I agree with that.
Hogaboom, 13 of 21 now, and he'll try it again. This time, Bentley, for the second time in the game, has one go off his hands, but Bud Brown was closing in on him anyway, and don't think it would have gone for much had he caught the ball.
No, Rick Graff got in the way of the throw. What you want to do in a swing pass is you have to get the ball there with enough time to allow the athlete to be an athlete, to make moves, to juke, to fake, to run. Graff made him throw the ball high. It took too long for the ball to get there. The play was dead.
Do you sense that replay sort of took the steam out of Indianapolis, that had they gotten the call, they would have been back in business, but now they sort of seem deflated?
It took about 50 yards out of them for sure.
3rd and 10. Good point. Hogaboom under pressure, completes it to Beach, the tight end. Stopped at the 49-yard line of Indianapolis and short of the first down.
There's a decision for you.
David Fry, an outside linebacker, making the stop. And Beach unable to get the first down, and we would expect him to go for it here on 4th down, wouldn't you? There's 6.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but the Dolphins up 23-7, and the Indianapolis defense showing no signs of being able to stop them.
Well, if I would tell them to go for it and they don't make it, they're not going to fire me, I'll tell you that.
Well, one reason is they're going to be, instead of a yard shy, they're going to be about 2 yards shy, and that makes a big difference. So Stark is on to punt. Had it been 4th and 1, maybe, but 4th and 2, you got to punt it away. This is a typical high Stark punt. It'll hit at the 5, and they're in good position to down it. They'll stop it at about the 2.5 or 3 yard line. Good coverage by the Colts that time, as Stark's kick covers 49 yards and is down to inside the 5. Dolphins, though, still lead. Will there be football next week? Well, we hope so, and if so, we'll be there to cover it. Doubleheader week next week on NBC. There are the early games, including Indianapolis at St. Louis, and the doubleheader games coming your way. And if there is no player strike and the games continue, we'll be there to cover them on NBC. The ball spotted at the 2-yard line, where Miami has a first down, and the crowd making itself heard. Bennett turns the corner. Ridden out of bounds at about the 20-yard line by Freddie Robinson. They had it stacked, that short yardage defense, and Bennett able to get outside on it.
They're just trying to get to the 5-yard line here, so they punt. They say, let's run a good basic play. But every man is on a man, and maybe every good man gets 2 here. Just good, solid blocking. That's not really a missed tackle. Good running. They had a good block. And now you've got you're to the 20-yard line where you can now run any play in your book. You're back to any play you want to pick out.
Bennett, 22 yards on the afternoon. It appeared that Dave Aarons had a shot at him there after a short gain, but Bennett broke the tackle and has a first down at the 20. Reno with plenty of time, then throws it away. Intended for Bennett. and Bennett was pretty well covered on the play.
Interesting thing about the Dolphins is last year they threw to 6 receivers who caught more than 35 balls, and the Colts only had 2. And you look today in the touchdowns, Clayton, Stratford, and Jensen, they throw to different receivers. You do not know who you're going to defend in any given play.
Gary Hogeboom already has that left hand in a cast, and they're looking at his right hand over on the Colts sideline. Jack Trudeau, number 10 on the right, would come in if Hogeboom can't continue. Dolphins have it 2nd and 10, bidding for their 14th straight win over the Indianapolis Colts. Davenport, nothing. John Hand makes the tackle. Clock ticking down to 5.5 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Miami in control, 23-7. This is the 3rd consecutive year that the Colts and the Dolphins have come into their first meeting of the season with identical 0-1 records. 7 of 10 for the Dolphins today. Quite a turnaround from last week. 3rd and 9 here, though. 3rd and long, and Marino in the shotgun. Nobody there. Jensen broke inside. Marino expecting him to go outside.
Well, he missed a read. They call that sight adjust. If you see it, you adjust. They brought the linebacker from the outside. They brought a blitz. Marino thought that Jensen would see that and immediately turn outside, hit him, and you're only looking for 10 yards. And Jensen didn't read it. Marino threw it to somebody that wasn't there.
Second punt of the day coming up by Jeff Hayes, the newly signed punter of the Dolphins. First effort was a little over 30 yards, 33 to be exact. Low snap. Hayes gets it away. Tullis calls for a fair catch and takes it at the 39-yard line. A 41-yard kick that time by Hayes. Indianapolis gets the ball back and a chance to get something going offensively. They trail Miami 23-7 with 4:53 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 23-7, 4:53 on the clock and running, and a first down Indianapolis. Hogeboom still in there, hits Sherwin. It'll be close to a first down. Play covered 9 or 10 yards. Mark Brown threw him back and got some help from his white-shirted Miami defenders, which draws a reaction from the crowd. There's Sherwin, his first catch of the day, had a touchdown grab a week ago against Cincinnati.
Ray Donaldson against 70, Brian Sosha. Now there is a stunt. You see the defensive end pinch. Soch runs outside to take his place. Soch, the reason I call him Soch is because he came to the Houston Oilers when I was there and literally worked his way right onto the team. Don Shula loves him because he just loves his work ethic.
And you mentioned Donaldson starting his 91st straight game today. Tops among offensive linemen in the NFL. Let's take a look at our 10-minute ticker to bring us up to date on scores and some upsets in the making around the NFL today, including that Green Bay 14-10 lead over Denver. San Francisco catching up to Cincinnati, now down by only 3. Second and 5 here for Indianapolis. They've advanced the ball to the 46 of Miami. Across the middle, complete to Sherwin, and he has another Colt first down. This one down to about the 36-yard line, about a 10-yard gain on the play, and they only needed 5.
There's only one middle linebacker, the defensive formation. He runs the other way. A lot of teams have an automatic read. If he does that, they hit the tight end. That's his first read. If the linebacker stays to the tight end, he has other options to go to. They're not going to move the ball very fast, though, with this type of an offense.
And we saw Ray Donaldson take Brian Sochet out of the play that time. Bentley, nothing there. They stacked him up at the line of scrimmage, threw him back for maybe a loss in the play. Mark Brown, the inside linebacker, led the charge. Brown played at Purdue, and he's right at home here in Indiana. And, of course, so did David Fry, another linebacker for the Miami Dolphins. And, of course, an Indianapolis native, Mark Clayton, scoring a touchdown for the Dolphins today. Clayton on the Miami offense went to Cathedral High School here in Indianapolis and got a touchdown before the home folks earlier in the game. 2nd and 10 for Indianapolis. Stumbling forward for a gain of about 3 on the play, and the fans Don't like the play selection as Bentley gets a short gain. Ron Meyer on the sideline as the fans want a little more action, perhaps go to the air. Let's watch Donaldson and Sauché again.
It's an all-pro against a free agent. Donaldson's a pretty big man, about 293 pounds. He's been in the Pro Bowl. He got good movement on Sauché. And, of course, the play didn't go for a great play because other people made the play. They're still not going to score fast with this type of an offense.
Donaldson started in the Pro Bowl a year ago when the Dolphins' Dwight Stevenson was injured. Bentley drops one again in the flat as Hogeboom felt the pressure. And it'll be 4th down coming up for Indianapolis. Biasucci is on to try a field goal. Remember, in the first half, they set up for what was an apparent field goal, then shifted out of it, and Stark thought about running, then winded up punting it. Stark is the holder. Biasucci is the kicker. This one would be from 50 yards away. See that he is 2 of 9 from 50 or longer in 86. Kick has some distance and hits the upright and goes through. So Biasucci gets a little help from the upright and hits it from 50 yards, his first field goal of the 1987 season. And that pulls Indianapolis just a bit closer. A minute 32 seconds left in the third quarter. Biasucci nails one from 50, and it's Miami 23 and the Colts now 10.
Looking down the line, that missed field goal could play a part in the game. It is 13 points away, and the Colts haven't exactly been lighting the scoreboard up. But, you know, if historically the average score of a Miami game last year was 52 points, which means if it was 25, 27, or that kind of a game, the Miami defense does have the ability to give up points. And if, in fact, the Colts can score 2 touchdowns, convert, there is a chance of winning. So they needed that field goal.
The problem is, however, stopping Miami. They've only been able to do it twice in the whole game.
Well, as I said at halftime, the score is 23-10. The chances the Colts are winning, you know, are slim, and it doesn't do the Colts any good this week again to make a good showing. They need to win. They need to take more chances, I feel, than what they have taken.
Don Shula in the 80s, the best. 72 and 33 with 1 tie, a percentage of nearly 68%. And Don Strock behind Marino and Shula there in the warm-up jacket. He's just like a coach on the sideline as well, but was pressed into duty against New England last week. Came in at quarterback, and also, when Roby was injured, had to do some punting, which was something new for him.
Did a good job, too.
Biasucci with the kick. And it's taken by Schwades. Got a hole up the middle. Cuts back. He's at the 37-yard line before he's taken down. Dean Biasucci, the kicker, had to make the stop. 34-yard return.
Interesting enough, this kick was an excellent kick. High. The coverage should have gotten down, but they run away from it. The coverage you could see coming on the right side. Look at the wide open hole here. So he's got good yardage. What I want you to see is Biasucci put his shoulder down here, and he doesn't get up very fast. Those guys those kickers don't wear a lot of padding. I mean, they don't expect this.
It's even rare to see one get in on the action, isn't it?
Well, they're a little bit goofy. They might try.
Dolphins safely on the ground to Hampton. Plows his way forward for a couple of yards with Dwayne Bickett, number 50, leading the defense for the Colts. Marino today has hit on 18 of 26 passes for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns. Biasucci, look at that helmet. Looks like somebody knocked that helmet down over his eyes.
My daughter once came to training camp. I put my helmet on her, and she was so small. His head just isn't big enough to fill that up.
2nd and 7 for Miami. Pruitt is in the slot on the left with Duper wide left. Marino has a little pressure and then completes it. Short pass to Hampton, who's taken out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Barry Krause and Eugene Daniel, linebacker and cornerback respectively, making the stop. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up for Miami. Clock ticking down, 38 seconds showing, and stopped as the play went out of bounds. Fans trying to pick up the defense here on a key 3rd down. Marino and company have been excellent on third down conversions today. From the shotgun, handed off. The gives to Hampton, or Stratford it is, and Stratford is stopped short of the first down. He'll get only to the 44-yard line. The rookie stopped by Harvey Armstrong in a defensive end for Indianapolis. So the Indy defense holds and sets up a punting situation for Miami. Hayes will punt for the third time today as the clock approaches 10 seconds left in the third quarter. And they can let the quarter expire before kicking it, which is, I believe, what's going to happen. You see the clock, and the third quarter comes to an end. So at the end of the third quarter, the score is Miami 23, Indianapolis 10. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
This guy's not looking for awards.
With Miami leading 23-10, the Dolphins with a fourth down. The Colts blocked 2 punts in preseason. Let's see if they come after Hayes here. They do put pressure on him, and they block it. Loose ball. And the Colts will have it at about the Dolphin 20-yard line. Eugene Daniel, the man, number 38. John Hand will come in and block it right there. Beautiful block by Hand. And it'll be Daniel that'll collar it for the Colts. Here it is from another angle.
298 pounds of blocking ability here. You don't expect the blocks to come from the big guys, but John Hand's a pretty good athlete. I've seen him jump over blockers. Now the sad part about this from the Colts standpoint is that if Eugene Daniel picks that ball up, they're right back in the game 6 points behind.
As it is, they have it with a first down at the Dolphin 23. There's Booza wide to the right. Trudeau on the draw to Bentley. Crosses the 20, lugs it down to the 17-yard line. So Indianapolis driving. Now let's go to Bob Costas for an update.
All right, Tom, and right now we have a chance to check the race in the National League East. The Cardinals lead the Mets by 1.5 games, and in the third at home, St. Louis is in front of Chicago 3-2. They're in the 6th inning at Pittsburgh. Tuffle, Howard Johnson, and Strawberry have all homered for the Mets. They lead the Pirates 6-2. Montreal is 2 back of St. Louis, and in the 6th at home, they're trailing the Phillies 2-1. Tom?
All right, Bob, right here, the Indianapolis Colts with a 2nd and 4. Hogaboom for the end zone, and it'll go incomplete. Intended for Brooks in the corner, and Langford with him stride for stride, getting some help from Rick Graff at a linebacker spot.
Now Brooks is going to get outside position when he gets what you call that's a release getting by. If he can hold his position and not fade too early, he faded, well, he had to get to the ball. If he could have held that position and gotten there, he could have made the play.
Like he had his arm tangled up there with Langford, and that draws a reaction from the crowd who saw the replay on the big screen here at the Hoosier Dome.
Incidental contact. You got to be tough out there.
3rd and 4 for Indianapolis. Hogaboom gives it to Bentley, who is stacked up and dropped for a loss. Back at the 22-yard line, Brian Sauché, the nose tackle, making a critical hit on Bentley just as he got the handoff.
Brian Sauché, a man who you saw get beaten on a play before. Watch his penetration. Somebody didn't block him. He must have been wearing an invisible man outfit. And he got in there, made the play. They did that type of penetration really really blows away a sweep. Just messes it all up.
Ron Meyer will go for it. 4th and 7. Hogaboom. Complete. Beach inside the 10, and a Colt first down. Donovan Rose hanging on for dear life as Pat Beach at 6'4", 252 pounds, makes the first down grab.
Good play by Ron Meyer. The last thing he needs is another field goal. He has to score 2 touchdowns, and he has to convert. Big tight end, a big target. They're not going to run fast. You know, tight end by the end of the name, whether it's a tight end or an H-back, they're big and slow, but they can catch the ball. They're big targets.
1st and goal from the Dolphin 8. Colts need a score to get right back in it. Bentley, out a yard. John Bosa, the rookie defensive end for the Dolphins, smelled that one out, and suddenly the Colts are getting nothing on the ground. There's Matt Booza, last year the leading receiver for the Colts. Got a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 7 for Indianapolis. Expect Hogaboom to put it up here.
Well, I think he's almost that was the same play that Sosha interfered with to the left. They tried it to the right. That play's not working. I think they have to throw the ball.
They don't. Bentley. He's at the 5 and thrown back. And the boos rain out of here at the Hoosier Dome. Mark Brown, the inside linebacker, leading the charge for the Dolphins.
It's rather interesting with Brooks and Booza, 2 excellent receivers with good track records. Veterans now, because they've been good at it in a tough situation, you think they'd go to them, yet they're going to a running game which hasn't worked. I think Ron Meyer thinks he's going to fool them with a run, like they're looking for the pass so much the run's going to be a surprise.
3rd and goal from the 5. Hogaboom in trouble. He's got a man wide open. Can't hit Bentley on the diving attempt. Bentley was wide open out of the backfield, but Hogaboom under pressure couldn't get it to him in time.
The play was designed to go to the left side of the field. Hogaboom is checking to his left. Watch his head. He looks. He's looking for a receiver. He doesn't find one. Now all of a sudden, oh, there's a man, but he's off balance. Can't get the ball to him.
Bentley makes a diving attempt. Can't quite get there.
You can get hurt doing something like that.
It's 4th down. 4th and goal for the Colts at the 5 of the Dolphins. They need this score desperately. For the end zone, not there. Booza broke off his pattern short, and Hogaboom threw it for the end zone. And the Colts, after blocking the punt, getting a 1st and goal, failed to come up with the score. And I question Ron Meyer's choice of plays down there. He ran the ball, 1st down and 2nd down, then had to throw it, and Miami was ready. We've got a timeout, 11:29 left, and Miami in front.
Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Beach with age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Energizer battery. Good times never lasted longer. And by American Airlines. Something special in the air.
Tom Hammond and Dave Casper, the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. The Colts had it 1st and goal at the 8. They fail on 4 plays, and the Dolphins take over with the ball spotted at the 5. Straight ahead, Woody Bennett. Bennett advances it out to almost the 9-yard line, so about 4 yards on the play before Barry Krause stops him. Here's Bennett with 26 yards on the afternoon with 4 carries of the football, and it's 2nd and 6 for Miami. Miami now will start to work on the clock. They need a couple of 1st downs as they're still backed up deep in their own territory. Marino looks one way, fires the other. Hampton caught it, but he's immediately met at the pass by Eugene Daniel.
You got to love it. Good hit. Good hit by Eugene Daniel. Hit him right in the beezer. Went up there and really popped the one.
In the beezer, huh?
Right in the beezer. That's it. Yeah, a quarterback spends a lot of his time running and covering little people, and it's the toughest thing for them to do because of the fact they don't have a lot of pads. Really come up and stick a guy. If you find a corner can do that, it's a valuable asset to your defense.
3rd and 5. The Colts need to stop them here to try to get back in the game. Quick out and complete to Clayton for the 1st down. Kenny Daniel making the stop on Clayton, the Indianapolis native, who comes up with another crucial catch to give the Dolphins a 1st down. Latest scores, Cleveland has gone in front of Pittsburgh. And Green Bay increases its lead over the Broncos. San Francisco, once down by a whopping margin, comes back to knot it at 20. Interesting scores around the NFL, and perhaps the last we'll see for a while. Bennett for Miami takes it across the 20-yard line. John Hand, who's playing a good game, tripped him up. You know, Hand, the 1st-round draft choice, made an all-rookie team last year, but the All-American from Alabama in his first 2 games of '87 seems to be vastly improved and is becoming a real force on the defensive line.
clock is ticking. Don Shula loves it.
It's approaching 9 minutes.
And he's had some help from Ron Meyer with his running game.
And the Dolphins with a 23-10 lead. There you see it now, under 9. Marino in trouble. The pass is incomplete. Will they give him a sack or not? Bickett was all over him. Was he in the grasp and control? No, they'll call it an incomplete pass.
Well, there's two types of rushes that you can take. One is a good move where you juke, and the other one is just a power rush. These people are just have their ears back and rushing, and they're getting the penetration. A quarterback has to have a little space in front of him so that he can operate. You get in this space, everything doesn't work for him. He's like a pitcher on a pitcher's mound with some obstacle right where he steps.
And another big third down play. It's 3rd and 9 for Miami. They've converted 8 of 11. Marino swings it complete. Stratford taken down at about the 23-yard line, and Miami will have to punt. Kenny Daniel not fooled on the play as they bring it out of the backfield. June James, and they're forcing the action, and the Indianapolis defense holds. Are they going to put the pressure on Hayes again? They blocked his last attempt.
If at first you do succeed, try again.
Last time, remember, Hand came right up the middle to bat it back in the face of Hayes. Tullis standing at his 40 to return it. I almost got it again. Not quite. Here's Tullis, retreats, and takes it at the 30-yard line. Not much blocking there, and he'll be swamped under by white-shirted Dolphins. And they'll mark the ball at about the 37-yard line. A 45-yard kick that time by Hayes. Tullis brought it back 6, and we'll take a timeout with 8:04 left in the game. Fourth quarter, it's put up or shut up time for the Colt offense here. Are they going to go deep this time?
They've got to. They've got to go to the wide receivers. They've got to throw the ball downfield. Ron Meyer has had faith in his offensive line. They've let him down.
Hogaboom will go deep. Medium deep. Enough to pick up a first down as Brooks takes it for a 12-yard gain. Bill Brooks was on 3 all-rookie teams and was the Players Association Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. He's a good one.
A little out pattern against zone coverage. You see that the underneath coverage did not get there, get back. Good pass. It takes a good, quick throwing arm to throw the out pattern against the zone, and Hogaboom has it.
5th catch of the day for Brooks, who lines up in a slot left. They've got 3 wide receivers to the left side. Now Brooks in motion. Pressure on Hogaboom. They got him. 2nd sack of the day for the Miami defense. All right, now let's go to NFL Live for an update.
Okay, Tom, few have compared Bernie Kosar to Fran Tarkenton as a scrambler, but Kosar gets out of trouble here and throws on the run just before the Steelers are about to catch him, and there's the ice cube. Gerald McNeil tumbles into the end zone, 11-yard touchdown, 17-10 Browns.
Thanks, Bob. Here at the Hoosier Dome, the Colts in deep trouble, trailing 23-10, 7.5 minutes left in the game. Hogaboom swings it complete to Bentley. He's got blockers in front as they set up the screen. Fumble the football right into the hands of the Dolphins. Donovan Rose suddenly said, "What have I found? Look what I found here," as Bentley coughed it up right into the arms of Rose.
Good reaction on the fumble. That was a screenplay. Many screenplays take a long time to develop. This screenplay, they started right now. You see the guard that's in the center, Donaldson out ahead. He has to beat that man. Now watch the fumble. Watch him strip the ball away, and the ball's caught right on the fly. Good reactions.
Donovan Rose gets a gift from Bentley, who's had a tough afternoon. So the fans head for the exits in what may be the last game here for a while, as the Colts had a chance to get back in it. 1st and goal at the 8. They didn't score. And right now, the Dolphins just trying to salt it away with 7:25 left. Hampton. Chased by Bickett. Can't catch him, and he falls forward. Got about 10 yards.
Dolphins telling them just saying what we're going to do. They've got Bennett lined up as a tight end, 2 tight end offense. It keeps any penetration off the corner. Hand the ball off to Hampton, say, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run it down your throats. And they did. I'm surprised they allowed them to get 10 yards, and they knew they were going to run the ball. They knew they have to stop. They know they have to stop the run here.
See the fans streaming out, heading back home again here in Indiana.
Under 7 minutes on the clock. First down Miami at the 35 of Indianapolis. Marino has 3 touchdown tosses today and 6 for the season. Got an official's timeout here. Well, they forgot to move the chains. Chain gang was taking a short snooze over on the sideline. Earlier in the game, we showed you a graphic about consecutive games in which touchdown passes had been thrown. We credited Marino with 26, actually only 25, getting his 25th consecutive game today with a touchdown toss, which ties him with Darryl LaMonica for 3rd place all time in the NFL. If you remember that graphic, Johnny Unitas, the leader by a wide margin with a total of 47 consecutive games with at least 1 touchdown pass.
Ron Meyer has to be disappointed. Last week, 3 interceptions. Today, fumbles, mistakes. Don Shula has his Dolphin team playing out, except for the punt block, virtually mistake-free football, and that's why they're winning.
6:20 left. And the Dolphins with a 2nd down and short yardage. Fighting off blockers is Lorenzo Hampton, and the 3rd-year player out of Florida gets another 1st down. Cliff Odom makes the stop. Hampton, the #1 rusher a year ago with over 800 yards, and as we mentioned earlier, scored all the Miami rushing touchdowns. The 4th time in NFL history that's happened. He had all the Miami touchdowns on the ground a year ago. There's our ticker. Cleveland still in front. Chicago, very impressive in the win over the Giants, leading Tampa Bay. And Green Bay still bidding for the upset over Denver. First down Miami at the 27 of Indianapolis. And a flag goes down as the 30-second clock expires.
Delay. First down.
So it'll be 1st and 15 coming up for the Dolphins as they milk the clock for a little too much time.
I really don't think they're too worried about that. 1st and 15 is the same as 1st and 10. They're going to run the ball 3 times.
You mentioned mistake-free football. That's the first penalty of the game against Miami, and it comes with less than 5.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
Don Shula will also let them know and let the official know. He's very, very calm today on the sideline. I've seen Don Shula rant and rave.
That's a trademark Shula team, though. Not many mistakes. Did you ever play for Shula in a Pro Bowl game or anything?
No, I never did. I played against him, and it's always been a tough game.
Hardy takes the reception and totes it to the 25-yard line, where Cliff Odom makes the stop. He stays in bounds and keeps the clock moving. Now down to 4:50 as Marino shows you that he has touch as well as the ability to drill the ball.
It's a nice catch. Hardy's been playing many years. He says, I don't want to get out of bounds. I'm getting my knee down in bounds. Go out. This play's done. He knows he doesn't have anything else to get but that many yards. Don't fumble. Don't make a mistake.
Did you ever have the opportunity to be on the receiving end of any Marino passes?
I think he threw me one yesterday when I was talking to him.
And I might add that you caught it. Casper hasn't lost his touch yet. Hampton, he fumbled the ball. And the Colts may have it. And Indianapolis does come up with a fumble recovery by Lorenzo Hampton. Still haven't unstacked them to see who'll get credit for the fumble. Hampton just lost it.
You have to wonder if at this point in the game, the attention span isn't dropping. They think they've won. They aren't as worried. There's no big hit. The ball is just going to pop out, be on the ground.
Still not loose.
There it goes.
There it goes. It just fell free.
Many times a running back will hurt himself. He's trying so hard to get that extra yard that the ball is set free. And that is something you can forgive unless the extra yard is a meaningless yard, as it is in this case. And I'm sure Don Shula will have something to say about that.
Odom officially gets credit for the fumble recovery. Hogaboom has gone all the way at quarterback for Indianapolis. Completes this one to Beach. About 7 on the play, and Glenn Blackwood, the veteran strong safety of the Dolphins, makes the stop.
Hogaboom knows that the Dolphins are dropping off in zone. Beach is coming across underneath the zone. There's nobody that short. The Dolphins are saying, go ahead, catch the ball. We're going to make the tackle. The clock's going to run.
Screen pass to Bentley. Makes a nice move. Taken out of bounds at about the 45-yard line of Indianapolis. Glenn Blackwood forced him out of bounds. But the Dolphins let them have that short stuff all afternoon.
Well, that was a good play. They got to the sideline to get out of bounds. Screen pass against the zone where they drop off deep can often work. But again, you know, there is a chance that the Dolphins can lose. But again, the score is 13-point difference, and Don Shula is not panicking.
How about Hogaboom's performance today? How would you rate it?
I think Hogaboom had a great game. I think what happened simply was the fumble. Hogaboom has shown that he's a professional quarterback today.
Getting his first start of the season and playing with a cast on his injured left hand. Brooks made the reception, tried to put a little move on, couldn't get away. He's taken down at the 50-yard line by William Judson. Hurry up offense for the Colts, who trail by 13 with less than 3.5 minutes to play. Hogaboom scrambled for his life and throws it away. Stops the clock with 3:17 left.
The 40-yard line dropped the ball that time.
He hit him right on the numbers.
Hit the numbers on the number. Hit the number 40.
3rd and 5 coming up for Indianapolis. Well, we know that last year the Colts went winless through their first 13 games before Ron Meyer took over, won 3 in a row. As they're about to go down to their second defeat of the '87 season, and assuming that the same players stay intact, what do you think their chances are of a respectable year?
Respectable. That's an interesting word. We have to define that one. So far, I think the Colts want to win one of these 2 games. I think Don Shula knows that they're winning their 14th in a row. A lot of history. There's another factor in here. What Don Shula has going for him is he has the ball players who played this system last year. Football players can copy anything, and all the Dolphin rookies have to do, and the new players, is have to copy what they did last year, where Ron Meyer's trying to put in a new offense, and he doesn't have a template to go for. He doesn't have a mold saying, do it the way we did it last year, because it's all new, and that's showing up in mistakes.
Booza makes the first down catch for Indianapolis, who have the ball with a first down at the 35-yard line of Miami. Hogaboom throws it intended, I believe, well, either for Brooks or Bellini. The ball sort of landed in between them. And Hogaboom's not happy about it. Somebody ran a pattern that Hogaboom didn't like. They say he's a real team leader, a fiery guy, and you have evidence of that on that play.
I think a quarterback can be as fiery as he wants to, but he has to control his anxiety and his temper while the plays are going on. The quarterback has to be the calming influence on the field. The coach can go nuts and yell and scream, but the quarterback has to at least appear as if nothing bothers him.
Draw play, Bentley. He's got a first down. He's to the 23-yard line of Miami. David Fry finally stopped Bentley on the draw play, but less than 3 minutes remain. And Indianapolis needs 2 scores.
They need 2 touchdowns, which is a bigger difference.
Right, 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. Swing it to Bentley. Does get out of bounds at the 20-yard line. He gained about 3 on the play, but he does stop the clock with 2:39 left.
See, Don Shula says go ahead and get down to the 20, the 15, the 10 as they get closer and closer. As we said before, this field is shrinking. And they've got to get into that small blue area that is painted blue called the goal line, which is only 10 yards deep. You can't hit the long pass, and then the time is ticking away. They will allow them to have all the field they want, all the yardage in the middle of the field. They won't get tough until the 10-yard line.
Spot the ball at the Miami 19, 2nd and 6 for the Colts. Hogaboom across the middle, nice catch. Flag down as Beach gathers it in at the 10 with a man wrapped all over him. Donovan Rose perhaps hit him a little early. Penalty flags flying. And maybe it'll go the other way. Maybe Beach should be called for interference. Yes, it will be against Indianapolis.
Tight ends never push off. Tight end, we should have, I'm saying we, I played tight end, you should have a license to push those little guys off because they're so fast and we're so slow. I didn't see the push off there. I feel as though Beach must have went down the field and shouldered him. Sometimes by creating a little bit of contact, you jar them and then you run away. And the official obviously saw something that
offense,
we didn't.
Decline, holding against number 71, 2nd down.
Well, they caught Kevin Call with a hold, and that's the penalty that Miami accepts. It puts the ball back to the 29-yard line and makes it 2nd and 16. 30 yards in penalties for Indianapolis today. Only that one call delay of game against the Dolphins. heard you used to push off even in the drills in practice.
The only thing I never pushed off was the dinner table.
Hogaboom for the end zone. Picked off. Intercepted by Glenn Blackwood, who takes it back to the 20. The 28th career interception for Blackwood. Number 3 in Miami history. Behind Jake Scott and Dick Anderson. Gathers in number 28, does Blackwood, as Hogaboom retreats to the sideline after throwing this interception.
Interesting thing last week, Jack Trudeau through the middle of the field in an attempt to throw the ball away and had the interception. There's a lot of people in the middle of the field. The interception. The Dolphins obviously made the big play when they had to.
Casper, 23-10 Dolphins, 2:04 on the clock in the fourth quarter. And after the interception, Miami has it with a first down at the Dolphin 20. Hand off to Bennett. Totes it out to about the 27-yard line where he stopped. And the clock also stops for the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go. Miami leads 23-10.
AT&T, the right choice. In Super Bowl 17, the Dolphins neutralized John Riggins in the second half. Down 17-13 in the fourth quarter, Washington faces a 4th and 1. Should they give the ball to Riggins or try Theismann on a quarterback sneak? What would you do?
This whole situation's running me ragged. I just found out I can't add any phones onto my new phone system. So now I've got 4 real estate agents working off the same desk on the same phone. I hate to think how much business I'm losing.
What did you decide? Washington went with John Riggins, who got the first down and more as the Diesel lumbered for the decisive touchdown as Washington made the right choice.
He is the most enigmatic of athletes. Ask him of his victory and he will praise his partner. Mention his role and he'll reply with a smile, "I was just riding to work."
Miami Dolphins and Don Shula about to beat Indianapolis for the 14th consecutive time. Shula, the former Baltimore Colts coach from 1963 to 69, beating the current Indianapolis Colts coach, Ron Meyer. And you see that the crowd at the Hoosier Dome, over 57.5, has diminished considerably.
The Miami Dolphins in a situation where they're ahead at the end of the game don't panic because Don Shula doesn't panic. He's been in this situation so many times, and that leadership he gives to the team really makes a heck of a difference in tough games or any situation where another team is trying to knock on your door.
Joel Williams, the second tight end in the lineup for Miami. Bennett gets a few yards and finally stopped by Dwayne Bickett. And Indianapolis stops the clock with its first timeout of the second half. The clock shows a minute 54. Miami will have a first down, and it gives us a chance to grade the Dolphins on their effort today. Let's take a look at the Dolphin report card. Dan Marino, another super game, 3 touchdown tosses, 23 of 32 for 250 yards. That's come to be sort of a typical Marino performance, but excellent nonetheless. Lorenzo Hampton has been the leading rusher. Not much, only 39 yards for Hampton on 11 carries. And Clayton with a touchdown and 4 receptions for 69 yards. And overall, the diversified offense of the Dolphins coming to the fore today. Noteworthy is the fact that the 3 touchdown passes by Marino coming to 3 different receivers. One of them, Stratford, a rookie, another Jensen, a reserve.
The Dolphins really do have skilled people at skilled positions all over the field. You have to defense them from sideline to sideline. And I'm sure Don Shula doesn't show you tendencies. It's a difficult situation for a young team to be in to really try to defend such a diversified offensive team. But that's the 4th time they run that play. They're being too diversified now because they don't have to.
Bennett gets the call again, and the Colts stop the clock again with a minute 46 left.
So we'll take a break with 1:46 remaining in the game, and Miami safely in front. As the referee comes through, Greg Cook shaken up a bit on the last play. 6'4", 276 pounds, 11-year veteran out of Arkansas. It was a holdout, just signed a few days ago and activated on Friday to replace the injured Ronnie Lee.
Cook, his back is arched. Whenever you're in that situation, your legs are straight, there's a big problem. Your legs are on the ground and Big Woody Bennett's coming. Anytime a man is upright on the field, whether receiving a ball or blocking, when he's standing in an upright position, your legs, you have 3 feet of area for your legs to be hit. When you're down low, it's like a batter in a batter's box. You can't throw a strike on him, and that's the problem. And the man had him by the face mask, had him up in the air. If I were Greg Cook in that situation in the game, I would have given up and said, I give. We're winning this game. I'm going to the ground. Instead, he's injured, and he's the backup to Ronnie Lee, who's injured.
How many times, Dave, do you see injuries in the latter stages of a game that is already decided? Quite often. Let's check the report card now for the Indianapolis Colts today, about to lose for the 2nd time this season. Hogeboom, the man who came over to Indianapolis in the trade from Dallas, getting his first start despite the cast on his left hand, hit on 24 of 40, 261 yards, had a touchdown and had 1 picked off on the last Indianapolis possession. Bentley, 84 yards today, but he also on the negative side had a couple of fumbles. And on the receiving end, Brooks caught 6 and Booza caught 5, and Booza had a touchdown. 84 yards for the Colts today, all of that garnered by Albert Bentley. On the ground. 2nd and 8 for Miami. And the Colts have only 1 timeout remaining. Hampton. Bulldog down by Jerome Salley, the nose tackle.
3rd timeout.
And mercifully, that's the 3rd timeout for the Colts, who prolonged the agony. 1:38 left.
I used to always wonder if the coach was my friend when he was calling timeouts when you had no chance to win. You wanted to go home and have your wife rub your back and tell you how sorry she feels for you. You just want to get off the field. And here's this coach on the sideline who's prolonging the agony. I mean, let me out of here, coach. We lost. Let me get in without getting injured, because this is meaningless. And I realize anything's possible in a cartoon, but I really think that, hey, get me out of here.
Anything's possible in a cartoon.
Well, you can't take this game too seriously. This is American fun.
Indianapolis has taken the game seriously, and Ron Meyer has seen his team make the key mistakes. Key mistakes and lost opportunities have taken the Colts down today. But Meyer has, in effect, turned them around, and they are competitive. You couldn't say that about them through much of last season.
As you said before, respectability, you have to define it. They are playing respectable football, but the bottom line to the fans is the win and loss in the column of wins and loses.
One of the key factors in the game was when the Colts had a chance to get back in it, trailing by 13. They had a 1st and goal at the Miami 8 after a blocked punt and were unable to get into the end zone. Hampton. Stopped by Dave Aarons with 1:30 on the clock and counting. Colts can't stop it now. They're out of timeouts, and it'll be 4th down for Miami. They'll have to punt it to Indianapolis. What about Jeff Hayes' performance today? Remember Roby out on injured reserve after being banged up in the New England game. Hayes signed earlier this week. Done a creditable job. He did have 1 blocked.
Very respectable. If I were Hayes right now, I would kick the snap. I wouldn't even bother to catch it. Just take a step and get it off.
Nobody deep for Indianapolis. They try for the block, and it's not there. And the ball is going to bound down inside the 10-yard line, and finally it'll be down there at about the 9-yard line. 46 seconds left on the clock. Hayes, with no one deep, gets credit for a 51-yard boot. And happy to be a Dolphin. Beat out 4 others in the Miami training camp for that punting job this week. Ron Stark of Indianapolis, the leading punter lifetime in the NFL, was saying he missed Roby being here because he usually enjoys duels with the Miami punter, who is a good one in his own right.
The only difference is they kick with the opposite foot.
Hogeboom is still in at quarterback for Indianapolis. He's gone all the way.
Across the middle and complete to Brooks. Puts a few moves on and is finally surrounded at the 15-yard line. Mike Smith will get credit for the tackle. Well, it's time now for our most valuable player of the game. That award sponsored by Budweiser. And as soon as we get this play off, second down play for Indianapolis. Swing pass to Bentley, who has a first down. Does not go out of bounds. Another fundamental mistake. He did that at the end of the first half, which prevented the Colts from getting any points. And the clock's ticking down to 10 seconds. Don McNeil kept him in bounds as Meyer contemplates another loss, the second of the season, and the 14th time the Dolphins have beaten the Colts. Booza does get out of bounds, but the game is over. 0-0-0 on the clock, and the boos coming out from the fans here at the Hoosier Dome as the game comes to an end. Well, our Budweiser most valuable player today is Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's games. Marino with another 3-touchdown pass performance, 23 of 32 for 254 yards and the 3 scores on the afternoon. Well, the Miami Dolphins with that high-powered offense win it over the Indianapolis Colts, beating the Colts for the 14th straight time. So this is Tom Hammond along with Dave Casper saying so long from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Again, our final score, 23-10 Miami. Now stay tuned for the Budweiser NFL Report coming up after these messages from your local station.